Beautiful evening to start the preseason here in the Tampa Bay area. 87 degrees, mild breeze, not a lot of chance of rain. There's always that chance as the Bucs are ready to go, and so are their fans as they welcome the Dolphins to town. 33rd preseason meeting between these two franchises. Down to the field at Dan Lucas.
Well, Chris, a big storyline that developed this week was the absence of quarterback Tom Brady, who will be away from the team for a couple of weeks. I know the news took fans by surprise. The team did not take surprise by this news. The quote from Todd Bowles, the head coach: "We trust him. We talked about it. It was scheduled way before training camp, and he will not be here until after Tennessee." So at least next week during those joint workouts with the Titans, Tom Brady will not be available, but he will be back, and the Bucs are not concerned about his status, a way to deal with a personal situation, guys.
All right, thank you, Dan. Hopeful that he'll play in that final preseason game at Indianapolis. The Dolphins won the toss, deferred. Bucs back to receive, and Rachaad White, the rookie drafted in the 3rd round from Arizona State, is back to receive. And with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, and you and the Bucs. Preseason underway as White's bringing it out of the end zone. Straight ahead, he hit hard, stopped before he got to the 15-yard line. Mentioning Tom Brady, who won't be here, but the Bucs, they're the NFL's highest scoring team the last couple of years since he has been the quarterback. Gabbert in his 4th season as a Buccaneer, 12th overall in the NFL.
Yeah, he's been here. He's the longest tenured quarterback on the roster. I mean, he's been here one more year longer than Tom Brady. And I think the one thing that people forget about Blaine Gabbert is those years that he had under our former coach, Bruce Arians, in Arizona. And I think those were the years when people started to give him a little bit more credit. Obviously, he struggled as a rookie in his first couple years in Jacksonville, but they really trust him to be the #1 backup on this football team.
Giovanni Bernard gets up to the 18-yard line. He gets the start in the backfield. Leonard Fournette, who will be your regular season starter, is getting a rest, as are a lot of the veterans. And we'll see Rachaad White and Keyshawn Vaughn back there, as well as Kenyon Barner.
Yeah, it's good competition at backup behind Leonard Fournette at running back. Obviously, Gio Bernard's got the most years in the league, so he gets the first crack at it. But that guy who just returned that kickoff, I want to see him. He looks the part, man. When you stand beside him, he looks like an NFL running back.
Bernard picked up 3. Gabbert has a moment, but can't find anybody. Here comes a flag as he gets out of bounds around the 18-yard line. We'll check that penalty flag at the 13-yard line as Ronald Torbert is our official referee in his 9th season.
He's one of the good ones, isn't he? You do games every week.
Yes.
I really like him.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
I don't like the holding call he just called. It's
no,
on.
You don't have to like the call. You can like him. So that's Aaron Stinney.
Yeah, Aaron Stinney's getting the start at right guard. We mentioned him in the battle for that left guard position, but the free agent addition of Shaq Mason coming in. Actually, I'm sorry, it was a trade for Shaq Mason from New England. Will be the starting right guard, but Stinney's getting the start here in this preseason game, but we'll see him over at the left side as well tonight.
Yeah, moved him at the right tackle, Leverett over at the left guard. So 2nd and 16 after they mark off the penalty. The pass delivered, and trying to get up to the 14 is Tyler Johnson. Again, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, those guys resting, sitting it out. There was a busy week of joint practices with the Dolphins, as you were out there watching closely.
Yeah, obviously you didn't mention Chris Godwin. He's back practicing, but not full speed yet as well. Those top 4, I think, are pretty set in stone for this roster, but we'll talk about it throughout the duration of this game. Is those next 2, possibly 3 spots at wide receiver could be the most, I don't know, interesting battle of training camp. There's Mike Evans.
What a career he has already had, still going strong. On a 3rd and 12, dumped off to Bernard, and the Dolphin defense there to smother him inside the 10-yard line. A rough offensive start for the Bucs. After losing 4, the punting unit will come out. And drafted in the 5th round and has the job, Jake Camarda, the 4th round in 2022. 4-year punter at Georgia, and takes over Bradley Pinion the job he had last year. Preston Williams on the return and out of bounds inside the Buccaneer 40. Check our keys to the game as Rondé has running back depth chart. You just kind of touched on that just a little bit.
Right. The keys to the game here. Running back depth chart. We mentioned Giovanni, Keyshawn, and Kenyon Barner all get shots tonight, but this surplus at wide receiver is going to have to start identifying itself. Scotty Miller in that group, obviously Tyler Johnson, guys that have been here, but there's some good young players. And we're going to get our first look at Logan Hall, the first draft selection of the Bucs this year, second rounder. We mentioned many times how Jason Light made some shrewd moves and got some good players, and this is one of them.
Rondé's keys to the game brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. After a 42-yard punt and a 13-yard return, on the move and completing for a first down, spotted around the 26-yard line of Tampa Bay, passing Skylar Thompson. On the toss, he's your starting quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa, who got much of the work during the joint practices, sitting it out. And Teddy Bridgewater hadn't done a whole lot even in training camp this year. The backup, so Thompson sitting at third on this Dolphin roster.
I think they want to get a good look at Skylar Thompson, rookie out of Kansas State. Very good athlete, very good arm. I think he's been impressive in camp. He's worked a lot with starters, and you notice Gesicki is the franchise tight end. He's in here with this group, and there's not a lot of other starters playing.
Sony Michel, the former Ram and Patriot, part of a loaded backfield for Miami that has Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, Myles Gaskin. So look at Logan Hall. Mentioned Tua, and great things expected with Mike McDaniel, the first-year head coach from the Shanahan coaching tree.
Well, that's very important that you just mentioned that. A lot of people don't know a lot about Mike McDaniel. He's been offensive coordinator for San Francisco for the last 5 years. He gets his first opportunity as a head coach. The young guy, he's wearing these beautiful shades all day at practice, man. The guy has got a great mind.
At age 39 on the pitch to Cedric Wilson, former Cowboy who backs up Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They're loaded with receivers as well, the Dolphins.
They got a bunch of receivers. They got a bunch of running backs, and that's because they're going to want to run this Shanahan system. A lot of tight ends. They'll use a fullback. Not that they have a use check like they have in San Francisco, but he is very familiar with this system. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan was the one calling plays there, but he was very instrumental. He's an exciting young coach. Definitely different. Knee-jerk proper reaction over Brian Flores is firing in the offseason.
Test for the defense early from the 21-yard line on a third down play. The throw and open for a first down catch. He gets around the 10-yard line before Cedric Wilson goes out of bounds.
Cedric Wilson's a big pickup for Miami in the offseason. Dallas third or fourth receiver, whatever you want to say. And he provides a lot of diversity in the passing game. You can play in the slot. He can play outside. And you see Todd Bowles is always going to want to put pressure on young quarterbacks, certainly on third down situations. Very good reaction by the quarterback and that very veteran receiver in Wilson there. This you talk about receiving core. Ours is the one that the league's talking about, but this one's sneaky good with Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson and Jalen Waddle from last year.
Good against the run of the Bucs as they smother Sony Michel on the carry after that 11-yard pickup prior to Cam Gill. The Bucs comes in on the attack. You saw Ross Cockrell on the coverage before, and worth mentioning again that the Bucs not playing their starters on defense. So Murphy Bunting, Mike Edwards, Carlton Davis, all who were busy this week with these practices against the Dolphins, watching on the sidelines tonight.
All right, all first teamers all the way across the board, and a couple second line guys are all out. But it gives obviously this opportunity for these young guys. Ross Cockrell trying to make this team as a safety now. The guy you should probably pay attention to is number 52 in the middle. KJ Britt's got the green dot on. He's trying to be the primary backup to Levante David and Devin White.
Thompson short inside the 10 after they had a 3-yard loss. That's Michel again. In that role that he had with the Rams. Grant Stewart on the defensive play for the Bucs. Now facing a 3rd and goal are the Dolphins. Just inside the 10. They stopped the Bucs on the opening kick. It was a 3-and-out. There was a penalty there. Good punt return. Good setup by Skylar Thompson, the 7th rounder from Kansas State. Gets him inside the 10 on a 3rd down now. Cedric Wilson in motion across to the right of the quarterback in that slot. Thompson tried to run out of it, but it's a sack at the 15-yard line. Brought down by Cam Gill.
Well, certainly going to bring pressure on third and long. Cam Gill on the outside. He is the next in line edge rushers. And if there's a weakness, Chris, on this defensive front, it's edge rushers. JPP is gone. Of course, we know we have Shaq Barrett there. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is going to have to assume a role. But after that, Anthony Nelson and Cam Gill are the only two guys that have experience. Great rush, up and under move by Cam Gill. Forced this field goal attempt by Miami.
Jason Sanders from 33 yards away, and he nails it to give the Dolphins the early lead. But the defense from Todd Bowles keeps them out of the end zone. 3-0. Dolphins kick it off to the Bucs again. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Dolphins with a 3-0 lead. Getting ready to kick off to Rashad White and the Bucs. Closed captioning brought to you by Grow Financial. We serve people, not profit. Well, both defenses, these two defenses, last year blitzed as much as anybody.
Holy cow, did they ever.
And so even if you're going to have a preseason game with some of your non-starters in it, you're going to see lots of it. And the quarterbacks will have to be ready. Rashad White, this time a couple of yards up from the goal line with a nice little move and dancing across the 25-yard line. A better return than the rookie had the first time. Let's take a look at the Bay Area Acura dealers scoring drive.
Well, the short field, obviously, with backed up punt gives you the opportunity to just get a couple of first downs, and really good performance by Skylar Thompson. Rookie looks unfazed. He actually looked pretty good on a couple of those throws, but the Bucs defense steps up, forces that field goal opportunity. So at the end of the day, it's a win. I always think that when you get a short field, and yes, you're going to give up some yardage, and you hold a team to a field goal once they're inside the red area, that's a win for the defense.
Bernard the back again. 26-yard return from White. Giovanni Bernard straight ahead and gets up across the 30. Yeah, that penalty really hurt the Bucs on their first series. They were already deep in their own territory to start. Backed them up, put them in a hole. Gabbert remains the quarterback here in this second series.
Yeah, I think this will probably be it for Gabbert. I'm sure he wants to put a good showing out there. This first team offense wants to put a good showing out there. And, Blaine Gabbert's, he intrigues me because he really hasn't had an opportunity yet to show what he could be in this system. But I don't think anybody's expecting Tom Brady not to be here, but I still like to see him get a couple of good completions here. Here's another one with Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, that is a good one. And look at the running after the catch. Johnson gets the first down.
Oh, you hate to say it about Tyler Johnson, but he's in a battle. He's in a battle. I think they love Jalen Darden still, draft pick from last year. Scotty Miller has been very proven, and Tyler Johnson got a lot of reps last year, and he proved that he could be a reliable guy. But there are so many other guys in this mix for this job. And Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, now solely on his own. No Bruce Arians. I guess Bruce Arians is still in the building, but Byron Leftwich is getting a lot of the responsibility now as the offensive coordinator.
That's Bernard with nowhere to go. Tyler Johnson in his third year and tripled his rookie reception total with 36 catches. Last year he had a dozen in 2020.
And he's had a fantastic camp, Chris. I mean, I know that we're going to talk a lot about these guys, Devin Tompkins and Kyler Geiger and all these other down the list wide receivers, but he's shown me that he's up for the challenge, and he's already got this game off to a pretty good start here with 2 crucial receptions early in this football game.
From the 42-yard line with no gain on that last play to Gabbert on second down 10. Bernard now slips to the right of Gabbert in that slot as a receiver. Floating one toward the sideline, reaching and pulling it in is Tyler Johnson.
Oh, that's what he can do. If there's a knock on Tyler Johnson, is that he's not a blazer like some of the other guys on this roster. But what he can do is this: catch the football at odd angles. This was over the shoulder. This is not an easy catch. I mean, he made this look easy. Hands up, Ball over the outside corner, shoulder of the corner. Fantastic throw, and even better catch.
Yeah, it looked like you saw a lot of that reach that he has at 6'1". A pickup of 21 yards. Gabbert has moved the Bucs with Tyler Johnson down to the 37 of Miami. Bernard trying to find some running room. There's not a lot there. It'll bring up a second down. Byron Leftwich calling the plays. Todd Bowles on the other side as head coach will call the defense.
Yeah, that's important. You know, a lot of head coaches these days like to pass the buck. Todd Bowles passed the buck on defense, calling defenses when he's in the Jets. He will not now. He's calling defenses for this team. But if we're talking about Byron Leftwich, you got to like the way that he's progressed. I mean, obviously, their goal, put up 30 points every single game.
Bernard inside the 30, straight ahead. That was a nice shot by the offensive line. There was a lot of room there for him to get going.
And I say that in they want to put up 30 points, but they've done it largely by throwing the football. This is a great gap run right here. Down blocking on the inside, Hainsey and Leverett pushing guys out of the way, and Gio Bernard with this nice little cutback and gets almost 9 yards on this game. But if there's an area where they can improve on offense, I mean, we're picking, right, like really being nitpicky here. They need to be able to run the ball. There's going to be times in the season where they're just going to need to bloody somebody's nose and run the football. It's not something they've been willing to do in the past. But if there's going to be a change, Todd Bowles as head coach, that might be one of the changes we see this year.
Need 2 for a first down, and this is one of those in the preseason. I don't think he got it. You see the Dolphins saying no. Bernard straight ahead, and I would think that the Bucs would be going for this if they didn't get it.
Well, we know if Bruce Arians was the head coach,
they're going right to the line here without a huddle. Let's see. They're giving him credit for the first down.
Wow, there you go.
All right, so that takes that out of the equation.
Well, here's the benefit of a veteran quarterback, right? He can call the play at the line of scrimmage.
Knew where to go with it. Quick pitch. Bernard inside the 25-yard line. That was close on that. I guess part of the hurrying was let's not give him a chance to replay and take a look. The official never signaled, at least on the field, that we had the first down.
They didn't signal, and they didn't get to the line of scrimmage. I mean, you do that because you don't want to give the defense a chance to substitute, maybe put in big bodies or whatever. But Torbert's crew gave him the first down anyways. And again, when you have a veteran quarterback, obviously he knows how to call plays at the line of scrimmage. He's in the sorry, Mike, it was a first down, buddy.
The whiz kid from Yale over there is saying, "No, wait a minute. I never saw the signal, but Gabbert knew where to go in a hurry and snap that ball." Second down after a pickup of 4. Gabbert with a fake. He's got some time. Middle of the field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jalen Darden.
Hey, that's a better drive for Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Well done, Blaine Gabbert. Go take a seat. You deserve it.
On the spot. Second-year player Darden, and he took it into the end zone.
Play action pass, and I'm telling you what, Blaine Gabbert had his choice. He could have thrown that ball to Scotty Miller, who was crossing the middle of the field, but he had a nice little in-breaking route by Jalen Darden. He threw a bullet, hit him in the chest, touchdown. Jalen Darden now, a lot of people say he's just a returner on this football team, but look, I love this guy as a receiver. If I could pull up some practice tape from going against the Dolphins, it was the Jalen Darden show out there. He's learned to be a better route runner. Obviously, he's got great quicks and good hands. It's good to see him pay that off with a touchdown tonight.
He's only 5'8", but a big play on the toss from Gabbert. 23 yards away. Jose Borregales in to challenge Ryan Suckup, who's had a terrific camp so far. He'll kick the extra point. In fact, we'll see Borregales most tonight. And the extra point is good. It's a 7-3 Buck lead. 2:17 to go in the opening quarter, and right on target, and Darden had enough to get into the end zone despite the hit. Bucks up on Miami. 7-3 on the Darden touchdown catch. He only had 6 catches all of last year.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Look at Scotty Miller on this motion. Dolphins are playing zone coverage. He splits through the zone. He could have thrown it to Scotty Miller, who's wide open, but Jalen Darden underneath that soft defense gets a nice little throw and an easy catch touchdown. Excited for this young man. I want to see this guy be a player. And obviously he's in that battle, that wide receiver battle.
Rookie punter Jake Camarda kicking off, and it'll be a touchback. Dolphins will come out on offense. Their second possession after getting 3 the first time out on a short field. Let's take a look at the Bay Area Acura dealers scoring drive.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing on that was 5 for 5 for Blaine Gabbert. 56 yards and a very nice strike for that 23-yard touchdown pass. 72-yard drive. Like I said, that's probably it for Blaine Gabbert. Get ready for Kyle Trask, everybody. And they should be happy. And obviously, that penalty, you mentioned it, that penalty on that first drive is what held them back going out. But that was a pretty impressive showing by that first group in this game.
Bucs defense get an opportunity here against Skylar Thompson. Started 40 games over 5 seasons at Kansas State. Savon Ahmed is the running back. Fake to him. Thompson's throw and open for a first down, and dancing his way to the 40 is Cedric Wilson. He's getting quite a bit of action. Let's check in on the field with Dan.
Well, Chris, we have an injury on defense early in this game. Linebacker Grant Stewart tweaked his hamstring, so they're going to sit him out for the rest of the game. He's still on the bench, but will not play the rest of tonight.
Well, that's an important injury there for the Bucs. They only have 6 inside linebackers on the roster. Devin White and Levante David are obviously not playing, so that puts J.J. Russell, who's in the game now, is one of these players with K.J. Britt, and these guys are playing special teams. There's nobody else on the roster here to help them out. It's going to be a tiring game for these young guys.
Straight ahead is Ahmed. We mentioned that Todd Bowles is calling the defense, even though he has co-defensive coordinators and Casey Rogers and Larry Foote. So KJ Britt, in this case, has the green dot, taking in the defensive signal.
Right, and KJ Britt's this game and this preseason, everything has been really important for him. They let go of Mike Minter last season. He's the primary backup, and he played a bunch of games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now that role, that backup role, in case Levante or Devin White goes down, is falling squarely on the shoulders of the second-year linebacker who's been impressive. I think they've been very impressive and comfortable with him having been able to wear this green dot.
Thompson on a screen, low throw. Ahmed, and a swarm of Bucs keep him from getting up to the 45. So spotted probably at the 44 of the Dolphins. And Mike Green, one of the newest members of the defense, the tryout camp, has made his way on and made a play.
He's a good story, and he's probably in a fight with Patrick O'Connor for one of those backup defensive line spots. But James Madison, small school near me, up in Virginia, but he's been impressive. He's got an unbelievable get off. When he gets off the football, he is very disruptive, and he has caught the eye of not only the scouts but the coaches and everybody around here.
On 3rd down and 6. They threaten blitz.
Oh, that's more than threatening. 8 guys at the line of scrimmage.
It's in your face, but he has time and overthrows. And of course, there was nobody open. Like he was trying to get the ball to River Craycraft, former 49er. End of the first quarter with the score on the Frontier scoreboard. It's the Bucs 7, the Dolphins 3. Frontier, fast, reliable, 100% fiber. Dolphins getting ready to punt as we start the second quarter. A look at your first quarter stats brought to you by Woody's Car Wash Shack, providing an epic car experience in the Tampa Bay area. And those stats impressive. Blaine Gabbert, the touchdown toss to Jalen Darden. And the defense doing the job on the second possession for the Dolphins. Tompkins has it. Inside the 10, Evan Tompkins dancing around, trying to make something happen. It's up near the 14-yard line on a punt from Sterling Hoffrichter, who was once a Buccaneer. He's in there to give Morstead a break. Kyle Trask getting ready to take the field. Second-year player from Florida will quarterback for the Bucs. 47-yard punt. Evan Tompkins on that 5-yard return. Let's take a look at our People's Gas player to watch. People's Gas reminds you to watch where you dig. Call 811 before you break ground for home or work projects.
Well, we're going to see how good Kyle Trask is at breaking ground on the football field today. He needs to Show us something. He's been a little bit inefficient in preseason practices. If you've got Twitter or any kind of social media, they like to put him on blast. But this kid is talented, and I think we have to be able to see him throw the football to get an evaluation of what he is going to be for this football team. I love his size. 6'5", 236. He looks the part. He's the biggest quarterback in the room. When you stand next to all these other giants, Brady and Gabbert are big kids, but he's bigger than all of them. And he's got that arm. You know, if there's one thing that he needs to improve on is decision making, and we're going to get a chance when they start throwing the ball here to see if he's evolved since his last year. And it was interesting listening to Todd Bowles talk about where he was last year. We really didn't get the reps with any of the first team or second team guys, and this year he's getting that opportunity in training camp.
And an opportunity well protected, and completes up to the 25 as the rookie tight end Cade Otton, drafted in the 4th round from Washington. Looked comfortable there. Yeah, they want the decision making and quick decisions. If you wait too long, bad things happen, but look good on that play.
Yeah, and you saw it a little bit there. If there's one thing that he has to learn, and you only get this by reps. You don't get this by sitting around watching Tom Brady go to work. You need to get in games and feel that urgency, feel that need to get the ball out of your hand. But even on that last completion, it was a slow, meticulous process to get out of his hands. He made the right throw. Probably could have made it a little bit sooner.
It was good enough for a first down as Keyshawn Vaughn, 3rd year from Vanderbilt, played in 22 games over his first 2 seasons with Tampa Bay. And it was pretty serviceable in the late stages last year when called upon.
There was a couple of games where Keyshawn, you remember the long, he had that big long touchdown run. I can't remember who it was against, maybe Carolina. And I think they trust him. He's clearly what I think a lot of us would say was the 4th option at running back with Gio Bernard, and then Rashad White is going to get his opportunity later. But he's also been a guy that's turning some heads. I mean, he can catch out of the backfield. He obviously can run between the tackles as well.
Trask airing it out deep, going down the sideline. Scotty Miller, incomplete. Well, there was some bumping and grinding, but Keon Crossan, who's had a terrific camp and made some big plays in the joint practices this week, was right there with the speedy Miller.
Hey, Scotty Miller might be the fastest guy on the team. Maybe the fastest guy, but Keon Crossan, you just said it. They've got some cornerback issues on this team. Obviously, they have one of the best in the league in Xavier Howard, but Byron Jones is hurt at the other corner, and they've had a battle for this 3rd and 4th corner. And Keon Crossan, even though he's not listed 3rd or 4th on the depth chart, he is by far having the best preseason of these at Miami Dolphins corners, and that was a great defensive play there.
So now 3rd and 8. Trask dumps it off. That's Rashad White. Can he get the first down? Yes, he can. And then he goes out of bounds across the 40 of Tampa Bay.
Doesn't he remind you a little bit of like he's really upright. He kind of languid movement. It's not really like quick twitch. He just ends up running by you. He looks like Eric Dickerson a little bit, man.
A little Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, Calvin Kamara footwork wise. But watch him, upright running style. It doesn't look like he's moving fast, but just runs right through you and past you. Man, I'm not going to lie. I have a little bit of a love affair with him.
Yeah, so it's already a man crush. He might be the guy right behind Leonard Fournette.
I really like him.
Picked up 13 and got that first down. Vaughn back in at running back. And nothing there for Keyshawn Vaughn. You were right, though, about the touchdown run it was against Carolina when he filled in for the injured Fournette last year.
Arizona State product. You know, he's like I said, doesn't he look like an NFL running back? He's got big arms, big legs.
Just over 6 feet,
right
in that range weight-wise of what you want. I know his pass blocking, there were some questions, but so far they're very happy with the progress he's made in that area. And they like, Jason White compared his maturity approach for a draft pick to that of Chris Godwin, in terms of the already professionalism, which is quite a compliment. On a 2nd and 14. Nice move. Tyler Johnson pointing, running, and down around the 42 of Miami for another Tampa Bay first down.
Yeah, great contested catch there by Tyler Johnson. He's just having himself a game. He's showing out already. Cal Trask takes his time getting this ball to the right guy, but in traffic, if there's one thing that Tyler Johnson can do is catch the ball in traffic. We've already seen him make 3 contested catches with pretty decent coverage. Another big gainer for this Bucs offense.
Already his 4th catch of the game. He picked up 22 yards on that catch and carry. There's Leonard Fournette congratulating him on the big move as Vaughn comes back in at running back. at the 42 of Miami. First series for Kyle Trask as Vaughn carries. So this will be kind of an ongoing thing through the preseason, as you touched on, behind Fournette, which I guess every player has a weight check, right? There was a lot made about Fournette in a playoff Lenny about being at his weight. Again, you talk about people discussing things, but the coaching staff says, hey, we know when we need to count on you, you'll be ready.
Yeah, he'll be ready. I'm not worried about Lenny's weight in the offseason.
Okay, good. All right, so Vaughn, Bernard, Rachaad White, mainly battling for that immediate. It looks like White could be your 3-down back.
He easily could be a 3-down kind of guy.
This is flipped to Vaughn, who's got room. Knocked out of bounds.
Sean Vaughn could be a 3-down guy. I mean,
yeah, he's showing us at 25 of Miami, another first down.
All right, if there's one area he's improved, it's blocking, but he's always been a little bit of a threat in the screen game. It was a great play call. Miami's getting their guys a little bit more pressure off that edge, and what you're always trying to do, and this is what young quarterbacks have to learn. You can't be anxious to throw screens. Screens have to be late. They have to develop. You have to sell them. And he did a really good job there, waiting until the defense had committed before he dumped that ball off the Vaughn for a big gainer.
What a time-consuming, impressive drive. 10th play for Trask in this offense. On this drive, goes underneath, inside the 20. That's Vaughn showing his receiving skills, and you hear the cannons fire. Don't be alarmed.
You know what's interesting about young quarterbacks, and when you see them in practice, sometimes they do make mistakes. They're trying maybe to press, and but the real, I think, the real evaluation will be, how do you do in a game? Is it slowed down enough in the game? And I'm telling you, on this drive right here, the game looks very slow for Kyle Trask. It doesn't seem like he's overwhelmed with this situation. He's leading a really nice drive right now.
He has marched the team to the 19 of Miami on the handoff. Gets a lot out of that. Didn't look like there was much of a hold. The offensive line, and that's enough for a first down, is doing enough to protect the quarterback and give these running backs a chance. And Vaughn got through there in a hurry.
Yeah, good job by your right tackle there, Fred Johnson, knocking down that defensive end and giving Vaughn that lane. But you mentioned it, this offensive line is playing well. These guys are all hungry and fighting for spots. I mean, you probably keep 9 offensive linemen, and you know who the first 5 are already. So it's these guys at the bottom of the roster, games like this, that really need to impress, and they have.
Vaughn carries. Fred Johnson, looks like a flag is down. Fred Johnson from a Florida Gator, from West Palm Beach, former Steeler and Bengal, will check that penalty.
Defense number 56. That 5-yard penalty was added to the end of the play and results in an automatic first down.
DeAndre Johnson, rookie from Miami, for Miami, called for that penalty. Fresh set of downs for the Bucs in scoring distance, scoring range here at the 7-yard line.
Well, they got off to a fast start, the Dolphins defense, but D coordinator Josh Boyer is he's giving up some yards here, and he's a holdover. He was on the staff last year with Brian Flores, as he was their defensive coordinator as well, and he's kicking himself right now watching this young quarterback go down the field.
Vaughn inside the 5, picks up a couple. Kyle Trask, 5 out of 6 since coming into the game, 67 yards. You tuned in a little late. Blaine Gabbert, a touchdown pass to Jalen Darden. Miami got a field goal on their first possession. Under 8 before the half, and Bucs try to get some more. See him reading the plays as Byron Leftwich could smile. You call him in, you call out a number, and in the huddle you deliver with confidence, and then hopefully everything plays out the way you want. Darden splits out to the top of your screen. Johnson in between in the slot there. He's got 4 catches already. Keyshawn Vaughn straight ahead. Powering to the goal line. Just short. This crowd of Buccaneer fans wanted him to find his way. It's crowded down there.
You got a lot of help. Watch Nick Leverett, number 60, at the end of this play, come in and try to push the pile. And then, look, Kyle Trask.
How about the rookie Kate Otten wearing 88? He came in kind of late there, just shoved somebody.
K-Dot. He's another one we're going to have to talk about at some point.
6'5", another big body.
Yeah, draft pick. Two draft picks. They're both in the, actually, I don't think Coe's been in the game anymore, but 2 draft picks at tight end, really trying to help that room and replace Gronkowski from a year ago.
Keyshawn Vaughn over the top, a Buccaneer touchdown. Now, he did a lot of work on that drive with Trask and finished it off.
Oh, you got. I lied to you. O'Keefe was in there. He was the lead block, number 41, and he cleaned up the linebacker and allowed Keyshawn Vaughn to go right over the top for a touchdown.
Tyler Johnson, who had the big catch and carry, helping to set up that scoring strike. Origalis with the extra point and nails it. But Kyle Trask maneuvering, controlling, and eventually getting the Bucs into the end zone behind Keyshawn Vaughn, and it's 14-3 Bucs. Jose Borregalis to kick off for the Bucs. Lynn Bowden, receiver for Miami. Healthy return out across the 25-yard line. And a look at the Bay Area Acura Dealers scoring drive. Well, that was impressive. 15 plays, 86 yards, just over 8 minutes. And Trask engineered, but Vaughn had 9 rushes and a couple of catches, and of course the touchdown run.
Right. That one looked even better than the 72-yard scoring drive with Blaine Gabbert. There's only been 2 incompletions in this game, and you could tell that the defenses are a little behind, or at least look a little bit behind. But yeah, very good performance by Keyshawn Vaughn on that drive. And Kyle Trask gets a positive first review from us up here.
Trask, your player to watch and worth watching in that series. Skylar Thompson and wide open at midfield, and moving down around the 40 of Tampa Bay is Trent Sherfield. Talked about ex-49er receivers on this Dolphin roster. He's one of them with Mohamed Sanu and River Craycraft.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those guys, but this is very similar to the action that got Jalen Darden wide open for his touchdown. You run play action pass, all that underneath the fence gets sucked up into the line of scrimmage, and there's just nobody around that receiver, and it frustrates Todd Bowles. It frustrates everybody because this team is a running team. They want to be a running team first, and the play action pass, you got to be able to deal with it.
He was under pressure with Skylar Thompson trying to get it to Craycraft, but the Bucs had it pretty well covered.
Anthony Nelson, 98, into the line of scrimmage, just redirects. Does a really good job making Skylar Thompson have to pull up and throw this football. And if you're talking about Mike McDaniel, what his offense is going to be, I just mentioned it. It's going to be run first. It's going to be heavy play action, and that really is going to benefit a guy like Tua Tagovailoa because he's not really a down-the-field thrower. Just like in San Francisco, it's mostly underneath 10 to 15-yard routes, and that's really kind of how they're trying to build this football team.
Thompson, middle of the field, and completes, slipping a tackle, getting down inside the 30. Tanner Connor, rookie tight end from Idaho State. Thompson created some buzz, not throwing an interception in Miami's first 8 training camp practices. Even Dan Marino, who's sitting in now on quarterback meetings in Miami, caught his eye.
Well, the one thing that Miami has done, and this is Mike McDaniel thing, he's had Skylar Thompson throw with the number ones. He's thrown to Tyreek Hill. He's thrown to Cedric Wilson. He's thrown to Jalen Waddle all camp long. So it's not like he's just in here, you know, eyes wide open and like scared. He knows what he's getting.
What a defensive play. Ahmed could barely get out of the grasp of Anthony Nelson.
They keep pretending to run the ball, and every time they do run the ball, they get stuffed. There's one thing you don't want to try against this Bucs defense. It doesn't matter if Villa is not playing. It doesn't matter if Akeem Hicks is not playing. The one thing this dude's defense is going to do is be good against the run. Doesn't matter who is in there.
Well, that's the thing. You always talk about the blitz of Todd Bowles' defense, but they've always been tough against the run. I mean, the yardage on the ground, you fight and squirm for it. Loss of 3. Miami's ground game, negative yardage. On 2nd and 13. It took a while to get there, but Connor did haul it in. Thompson again was under pressure. He's inside the 25 of Tampa Bay. See where that spot is to bring up a 3rd down and about 6 is what it looks like. Spotted just inside, we'll call it the 24-yard line of the Bucs. Myles Gaskin in at running back. Everybody up except for a couple of players on the defensive line. I wonder what Skylar Thompson is seeing here. He's got a moment, but they're going to get him. He's sacked at the 35. It's Anthony Nelson again.
He's having himself a day, isn't he, Anthony Nelson? Saw the play in the run game, saw him on the sack here. I just mentioned a couple of series ago about needing to identify pattern. Look at that rush move. Slap the hands down, stays on the same track, gets to the level of the quarterback, and just finishes. And Anthony Nelson, Shaq Barrett was talking about him in the offseason, and he said this guy is ready to take the next step. Somebody's got to make up for the loss of JPP. He was a great rusher on the outside linebacker for this football team. We know what we're expecting from Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and we're going to have to expect that right there from Anthony Nelson as well.
Well, they made the difficult field goal try, now 50-plus yards. Jason Sanders' kick from 52 yards away. He nails it. His career long, 56. Nails this one from 52. It's 14-6 Bucs. Once again, the Buc defense forces the Dolphin offense to settle for 3 at 14-6 here in the second quarter. Wake up to Tampa Bay's best news, weather, and traffic team. Watch News Channel 8 today, weekday morning, starting at 4:30 on News Channel 8. Rodney Barber, Dan Lucas down on the field, Chris Myers, and we thank you for watching on the Buccaneers preseason television network on WFLA News Channel 8. Sanders ready to kick off and back to receive for the Bucs. Devin Tompkins in that backup wide receiver battle. Deep in the end zone, he'll let it go. So out to the 25. Our Acura scoring drive, 40 yards, 7 plays, under 4 minutes, and then the 52-yarder to get Miami a little bit closer for Mike McDaniel, the rookie head coach. I love he's got a look and a style. I've heard him described as like a laid-back surfing coach, kind of hipster. First of all, hipster, I haven't heard that word in a lot of years, but he's a cool guy to talk to, and a Yale guy.
Well, hipster is a very trendy word, and it's permeated the NFL now. You should see him in practice. He's got, I mean, obviously he's wearing spectacles on the sideline now. In practice, he's got these big shades on. Y'all should go Google it. He's like, is this guy the head coach calling plays over? He looks like he should be on a beach DJing, but he is a very sharp mind.
And Rashad White carries, gets up across the 30-yard line. Luke Gedeke is in the game, the second-round pick from Central Michigan. By the way, that's how he'd like it pronounced. The emphasis on the first part, Gedeke,
right,
wearing number 67.
I've been saying Gedeke since they drafted him.
I think a lot of people have, and finally.
And now, thanks to you, Chris, I know it's Gedeke.
Well, it's funny because even Jason Light, the GM, was like, I heard it a couple of different ways, but Gedeke was a guy who, when he was in college, before going to Central Michigan, they had drive your tractor to school day. And he would bring one in. I told that to Jason Light from Nebraska. He said, "Well, that's nothing new. Nebraska, our parking lots would have tractors." But anyway, he's a tough guy, and he even calls himself kind of a glass chewer. He's that difficult of a physical talent, and has to work himself into a starting position at some point. All right, we've reached the 2-minute warning, and the Buccaneers holding a 14-6 lead at the moment, and they have the football. 3rd and 5. Hey, how about a Rondé's clip by Microlumen High Performance Medical Devices?
Yeah, thank you for Microlumen for allowing me to do these little get-to-know-your players. And this is Rashad White, dual shifty threat running back. I mean, we've seen him out of the backfield. We've seen him run. You'll notice how patient he is as a runner. And Chris mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, how professional he is. You mentioned that the coaches say he's very similar to Chris Godwin in that sense, that he came in ready, knew that he had to study. I talked to his running back coach. He said he writes everything down. games. Like a quarterback, he's been a pleasure so far for this Bucs team.
See if they go to him on third down. Trask is going to get out of it and throw short of the line of scrimmage. Ruled incomplete, it looks like. At least that's what the officials are saying. They're saying it's a takeaway. It's an takeaway. It's an interception. Looks like a fumble. Trying to, from the angle we had, did he have it long enough for it to be a fumble? Campbell's come out of there with it.
No,
this is a ridiculous interception, is what it is.
First down, Miami.
This is going to be one of those highlight interceptions, Chris. This ball never touched the ground, and it ended up in Campbell's.
Elijah Campbell.
Watch this. It's obviously he could have taken a sack. He almost gets out of this and tries to find Rashard White. And look at this ball. You see it between his legs. It never touched the ground.
Wow.
It's an interception. Oh, my goodness.
It was difficult to see, but not for Campbell. He was trying to get the ball to White. Would not have been enough for the first down anyway.
There you go.
There we go. This will be a better view as Trask, that knee almost down, but he got it away in time. Wow, he was tackling White, who had the ball, and then between his legs, Campbell has the takeaway.
You know what? Plays like that, Chris, all you can do is laugh.
Well, I mean, that deserves a wow.
Wow.
Terrific, outstanding play. The third-year player from Northern Iowa for Miami.
Well, that was a sudden change of events.
Yes, it quickly went from a possible escape from a sack to a Miami takeaway. A lot of smiles because obviously it's been confirmed, reviewed as all turnovers are. So that looked like an interception and a fumble all in one play.
Here you go for this Bucs defense, and this is a great opportunity for Todd Bowles to tell his guys, sudden change opportunity here. See if we can get a stop and force another field goal attempt.
Skylar Thompson continues. He started for Miami at quarterback. He's going for the end zone open. Touchdown Dolphins! Lynn Bowden Jr. was wide open.
Well, he beat the rookie, Zion McCollum. I think it was on a double move here because you can't get this wide open. Zion McCollum's had a pretty good training camp so far. This is his welcome to the NFL moment. And Bowen's one of those guys that is in that battle for bottom of the roster wide receiver spot. That's going to help his cause. But I don't know how he got that wide open. But you get a turnover, you get a takeaway, I guess, from the Miami perspective. Take a shot. That's the way most coaches work. It ends up touchdown.
The extra point, Rondé, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game. Thompson delivers a strike after Miami's defense takes it away from Tampa Bay. Elijah Campbell on special teams after that wild interception, kind of pulling it away from White, and then Lynn Bowden with the catch. For the best Bucs coverage all season long, stay with News Channel 8, your official Bucs station. Buccaneers.com for all your Bucs info through training camp. It's setting us up for the preseason game next Saturday night in Nashville and then in Indianapolis after that. Back to receive is Devin Tompkins for the Bucs. Deep kick, and he'll let it go. Now look at the Bay Area Acura dealer scoring drive. What we showed you the Bucs scoring drive that took 8 minutes. This took 6 seconds.
Well, hey, Skylar Thompson's 10 of 12 for 122 yards and a touchdown, including that 22-yard pass. And I'm gonna say, thankfully for Zion McCollum, we don't have video of what happened on that touchdown. But it's interesting. Bowden, he was at Kentucky. He was one of those guys that did everything. He was a quarterback, he played running back, he was a wide receiver. He finds himself on his team now with, obviously Tyreek Hill and Jaden Waddle and some of these guys down the depth chart, where I don't know if he has a spot, but you just love when you see guys trying to make football teams and putting that on tape. That's going to help. And if you're Kyle Trask, guess what you got now? You got a 2-minute opportunity. This is a great learning experience. See how he handles this.
All 3 timeouts remaining. Completes across the 30. J.J. Howland, the rookie tight end who played his college ball at Yale.
In this situation, takes poise. Don't take sacks. Get rid of the football. obviously you don't want to put the ball in harm's way and give them a chance to have the ball back again like that.
And that's out. Let's see the ruling here. That's a fumble on the field is the way it's ruled, going the other way. Sam McQuavon is in for a Dolphin touchdown. Just what you were saying not to do. Trask felt the pressure but couldn't hold on to the football. Darius Hodge got to him first, and then Quavon took it into the end zone.
Yeah, it could have been either tackle. You know, Walton at left tackle and Fred Johnson at right tackle both gave up the edge very quickly, and really no chance for Kyle Trask to do anything. He probably should have felt that and tried to protect the football, but look, he's trying to make a play. It's 2 minutes. You want him to try. You want him to keep pushing the football, but his offensive line has to do a lot better work for him than that. Now all of a sudden, a comfortable game for the Bucs. Looks like their defense is starting to outplay us.
Extra point is good. Sanders for Miami, but the good news for Trask and the Bucs offense, they'll have a chance with 3 timeouts in that 2-minute drill.
Let's start over again.
The GOAT is in the house.
Yeah. He looks a little short.
17 points in less than a minute and a half.
He's got the arms and everything, man.
Yeah, but still cheering the Bucs. There's a good crowd here for the preseason opener, the home game, and then of course 2 on the road.
Great crowd, and yeah, this Bucs Stadium is a little changed now. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
And if you miss any of tonight's game, you can watch it tomorrow. Watch Bucs replay tomorrow afternoon at 1 on WTTA. Great 38. A quick turn of events have the Dolphins on top by 6. And bringing it out is Tompkins, trying to make something happen. And it looks like we might have a hold. Flag back at the 6-yard line. And we have a player slow getting up. Kyle Trask, after that impressive drive when Keyshawn Vaughn dove over the top for the touchdown. It's been a little crazy. A couple of takeaways by the Dolphin defense. But it was pressure on Trask really in both cases that forced the mistakes.
Right, and there's some guys in the offensive line, just kind of bottom of the roster kind of guys, camp guys, and yeah, it was interesting. I was just telling you during the break that Brandon Bolton. Hold on 1 second.
There were 2 fouls during the return, both by the return team. Illegal block in the back, number 9. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 48. That penalty is accepted. It will be enforced half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down, Tampa Bay.
I can finish that thought real quick. Brandon Walton, who gave up that last sack, I've only seen him play guard in camp, and maybe he took some snaps at right tackle or left tackle that I didn't notice, but he's been primarily a guard. And he's in this game now playing left tackle with the rookie Gedeke. So if there's question marks, this is an inexperienced offensive line. I mean, obviously we got a really good offensive, 2 good tackles. Donovan Smith is a really good tackle. Tristan Wirth is probably the best tackle, right tackle in football. Shaq Mason, we mentioned him earlier. So you know, it's easy to be worried about you know, these down the line guys, but this is still a very, very accomplished offensive line here in Tampa.
Only the second penalty accepted on the Bucs run, and it backs him up from the 6. Trask comes out throwing and completes. Falling forward, an alert move to the 14 is Tyler Johnson. He's been the receiving star in the first half of this game as they go in a hurry. I remember they have all 3 timeouts, as do the Dolphins here. So the Bucs have to be careful they don't get a quick 3 and out. 50 seconds counting. Incomplete. Johnson couldn't hang on to that one.
No, you nailed it exactly right. Talk about 2-minute situations. One thing you don't want is a 3 and out. The Dolphins still have 3 timeouts here. So if you're just absconding about situational football, you want Kyle Trask completions, get out of this backed up situation so you don't have a short field like we had at the beginning of the game. And then once you get that first down, then you'll probably see Byron Leftwich take a shot, try to cover some more ground, see if they can get some points on the board right before the half.
3rd down 4. You saw the numbers on Trask coming in for Gabbard. delivers for the first down, and Johnson hangs on at the 20-yard line.
You can see the comfort level that both of these quarterbacks have with Tyler Johnson. He's sure-handed. Obviously had that drop 2 seconds ago, but he's having himself one heck of a day in an important game for him.
Kyle Trask has a moment. Sideline throw, just kind of gets rid of it. 24 seconds remain before halftime. And
then the hard part, if you're Byron Leftwich calling these plays right here, you know that at this yard lines, you know that Miami is not going to give you an opportunity in man-to-man or something where they have single high where one of these fast wide receivers can run by you. So it's kind of Kyle Trask has to manage the expectations here. If you got timeouts left, so if it was me, I'd be looking towards the middle of the field somewhere. Maybe you get a catch and run. You got this stacked formation at the top of the screen here. See if you get one of those guys emerge out of there and get a big gainer through the middle.
Already 6 catches for Johnson. This is underneath, hit and incomplete right away. Cade Ott didn't hold it, and the official there to make sure we knew that was not another fumble or mistake. And that was Campbell who delivered the hit. He's having quite a night.
Yeah. Crazy interception. Pass breakup. Cade Otten probably wanting that in back. Wants that completion. We got to talk about him at some point. I know we've mentioned him a couple of times. Draft pick, comes from a football family. His grandfather is the most winningest coach in high school history in the state of Washington. His dad was a high school coach, coached him. And they've been impressed with his ability to learn here.
On the ground, Vaughn shoved back. That'll chew up some of the clock. 10 seconds, and it looks like they're going to let that go. Yes, we'll discuss Cade Otten, Coke Keefe, a couple of tight ends drafted to back up Cameron Brayton, Kyle Rudolph.
First charge timeout. Miami, this is a 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 13 seconds, please. 13 seconds on the game clock. Clock will start on the snap.
Dolphins did use a timeout. They want to force a punt for Tampa Bay and a chance on the return.
You know, I had a chance to sit down with Todd Bowles earlier in this preseason, and we talked about this team. Why is it going to be different? And I asked, what's the theme?
Set the game clock. Thank you.
I love what he had to say here.
Accountability. Accountable to each other. You see something, say something.
Yeah.
We've always had accountability, but you know, after you win a Super Bowl, I think we won last year on a lot of talent. When you win a Super Bowl, naturally everybody pats you on the back and you come in fat and happy. We had a lot of people hurt. We still won 13 games, but it wasn't good enough. We messed up on the details towards the end, and it came back to bite us. We just have to understand that part and hold each other accountable. So we're going to do that like we have done, and we're going to go from there.
Some of those veterans that maybe were fat and happy are not a part of the Bucs as we go forward. Interesting comment. Accountability, a word to watch. So the punt by Camarda to the 28-yard line. It was a 46-yarder, his second punt of the game, and they reset time on the clock, which the officials reset when the timeout was called by Miami, so they'll at least have a chance at a play here.
Well, I like talking accountability. I mean, it's an overused word, right? Everybody uses it, but when you make it a point of emphasis, then all of a sudden you don't have the excuses, right? You don't have the explanations of why it wasn't at practice, why I wasn't doing whatever. And if there's going to be something that Todd's going to be a stickler of, it's that. He says something, he expects it to happen. He's been that way at all levels of his coaching career.
Bucs didn't use their timeouts. Dolphins run out the clock.
This is the end of the first half.
Takeaways by the Dolphin defense have put them out in front of the Bucs after they built an early 14-6 lead. Dan Lucas, who will have all the halftime highlights, will be talking with the coach right now. Dan?
All right, Coach, Kyle Trask, I know you wanted to see a lot of him tonight, so let's start with the teaching moments. A couple of plays under pressure, that third down pass. It was really a wacky interception. And then later, the other turnover.
Yeah, it went off his body. You know, the running back bobbled it a little bit. It went between his legs, and it hung on to him. The defender made a good play. The other one, we didn't have enough protection for him. The ball came out of his hands. They got back there pretty quick. He had a positive drive for a touchdown going in. So if we protect him better, he's managing the game pretty good.
That drive, 5 for 6 on that touchdown drive. How impressed were you with him, his poise on that drive?
His poise was great. Again, we got to protect him a little bit better going forward. He started out great, then we kind of let some things go when a couple of guys got in there.
Thank you, Coach.
You got it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Dad. Keyshawn Vaughn and Tyler Johnson had good first halves for the Buccaneer offense. Halftime highlights coming up with Dan Lucas. Thanks for watching Bucs Football. Thanks for being with us. Another preseason on the Buccaneers television network, WFLA News Channel 8 with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, and crew. And nice to have you with us. And wow, the good news is the Bucs outgained the Dolphins in the first half. The turnovers obviously hurt. What stands out most to you?
Well, if you're looking just as an overall view of the game, it's the giveaways, right? Giveaways led to two quick scores for Miami, and now all of a sudden the Bucs are behind. But what stood out was Kyle Trask. We were asking questions of him. Can he handle the situation? And on that scoring drive, he certainly looked like a pro quarterback. He looked good. The defense has had its ups and downs a little bit, but to me, this is probably right where they wanted to be. There's no starters. Let's reiterate that. There's no starters playing in this football game, and yet they've been very competitive, and they've seen a lot of guys get their opportunities, and probably number one amongst them is Tyler Johnson. He's in that battle for that second 2 or 3 receiver spots, and so far tonight, even with Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask, he's been their go-to receiver.
Trask 8 out of 13, 89 yards. Gabbert was 5 out of 5. Each had a touchdown, and Johnson 6 catches for 73 yards. And the Bucs did outgain Miami by almost 80 yards in that first half, but the turnovers turned the score around. And Trask will have an opportunity after the Bucs defense takes the field. Tampa Bay will be kicking off. The Dolphins, remember, won the coin toss to start the game and deferred. I want to send out congratulations to Josh Wells, the offensive lineman, part of the Bucs team, of course, not here tonight, but their third child, Walker Wells, just born. His wife celebrating, all happy and healthy, expanding.
Great name, by the way.
The Bucs family. I like that.
Walker Wells, that's great. And he's the backup right tackle. I mean, I mentioned left tackle. I'm sorry, behind Donovan Smith. I mentioned that Walton hadn't really played much. Brandon Walton hadn't played much tackle when he gave up that sack. He's in there now because of Josh Wells on getting a little paternity break.
The rookie punter, 4th rounder from Georgia, very athletic. I know he's a guy you want to talk about quite a bit. He's only been had to punt twice in the game, but he's sharing the kickoff duties tonight, and that's something during the year. Veteran Ryan Suckup may get a break on that, or Borregales if he's your kicker, because he can kick off as well as punt. Devontae Dedmon is back, and this kick hits and goes out of bounds, which will be a penalty and set the Dolphins up with great field position. Now, he's known for directional punting, but maybe on the kickoffs a little bit of a different deal.
I think it's just something you learn, right? And Keith Armstrong, the coordinator.
Illegal kickoff out of bounds. Number 5 of the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down, Miami.
Keith Armstrong, the coordinator, the special teams coordinator, likes to directional kick a bunch, and we're going to get another Microlumen.
Yes, one of your Rondé's clips brought to you by Microlumen, high-performance medical devices.
Well, this guy's very polished. He's a technician. If you watch him kick in practice, you can see how trained he is. The value of kickoffs makes him the natural successor to Bradley Pinion. Pinion left in free agency. They basically gave this kid the job. He comes from Georgia, as all y'all remember, to watch the national championship game. He is going to be a stud for this football team.
Skylar Thompson comes out throwing and completing. Lynn Bowden, who had the touchdown catch in the first half, all the way down to the Tampa Bay 30.
Well, again, we've talked about this very early in the game, and it's this play-action pass. The Bucs defense, you see the linebackers, you can see them just on the right side of your screen, how quickly they reacted to that run game, and there's just nobody back here to cover Bowden on an easy throw from Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson, Chris.
Impressive
150
numbers.
yards, right?
And it's like you said, reserves, but it's also reserves for him on offense. He's not playing the first teamers of Miami. On the move, he just does a little shovel pass, kind of a flip back to Bowden inside the 30, and Rashard Robinson for the Bucs. Free agent, former Cowboy out of LSU, played with the Niners and Jets from Pompano Beach, making the play there, tackle.
Well, if you're looking at cornerback position on this Bucs roster, I think you pretty much know who the guys are. You have Carlton Davis signed his big extension. Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamel Dean are going to play outside. I think there are going to be some shuffling at the safety position in the way that they play. Probably a lot of 3 safety looks. But if you're looking down the depth chart, Rashard Robinson's one of those guys that obviously is a contributor on special teams, but he's got a lot of attitude when he's playing man-to-man coverage.
Big hole for Myles Gaskin. 1st and goal, Dolphins. He's led the Dolphins in rushing the last couple of years, getting pushed at his job. Troy Warner brought him down before he got to the goal line.
Oh, man, that was a really good cut by Myles Gaskin. The strength of this Dolphins team right now, running back. I mean, guys, they got Raheem Mostert from San Francisco, who's a free agent. They got Gaskins on the roster as well. Sony Michel came over from the Rams, last year's Super Bowl champion. They've created some really good competition in that room.
Michel had played in the first half. Gaskin remains in after a 22-yard pickup. Gets the football, brought down at the 5-yard line. Yeah, it looked like maybe Chase Edmonds and Mostert would be your 1-2 punch, but you've got Michel, Gaskin, as you mentioned. We saw Ahmed. Zaquandre White, rookie from South Carolina, is somebody that Mike McDaniel, at least in practice, has seen. He's from Cape Coral, Florida, and has seen quite a bit of in practice and really likes what he has seen. On a 2nd and goal. Gaskin brought down again. Got a lot of running room with this Bucs defense.
Regardless of who's in the game, for this Bucs defensive line, they're all big guys. He's Benning Poa-Tewau. He's a guy who looks leaner than he has in the past, and we mentioned the guys up front already, right? You got Logan Halls and the Goldstons and the Vita Veas, and he's a guy that's trying to find a way to stick around here.
3rd and goal. Thompson throws. End zone coverage good on Lynn Bowden, and it's going to be 4th down. Kyler McMichael, free agent from North Carolina, was there on the blanketed coverage.
Yeah, he's been really good at the line of scrimmage all through practice. Probably gets away with a little bit of contact down the field there, but I think that's a good no call. He's just hand fighting with the receiver. And one thing, he's got the size to play out there in man-to-man coverage, and he can run. I mean, he's built a little bit different than some of the other corners on this football team. They're all long and lean. He's more of the muscle-bound guy, but he can play on the line of scrimmage. He can really motor down the football field.
Sanders from 23 yards away, and he is 3 for 3 to extend the Dolphin lead now to 23-14. Just under 12 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter at Raymond James. 20 straight points for the Dolphins here as we check the Bay Area Acura Dealer scoring drive. 7 plays, just over 3 minutes, and another field goal. 3 for 3 is Jason Sanders. Back to receive is Kalen Geiger from Texas Tech, the rookie free agent. Had a variety of returners. He won't have a chance. This is deep, and he'll down it after hesitating, and help from his teammate.
Well, let's talk Todd Bowles a little bit. Talked a little bit earlier about his coaching career. The assistant head coach in Miami, got to be the interim coach for 3 games, went 2-1, and then after spending 2 years with Bruce Arians in Arizona, goes to the New York Jets. And I don't know if a lot of people remember that they feel like it was a failure at the Jets because his last 3 years he only won, I think, 13 games. But his first year in New York, he went 10-6 and just barely missed the playoffs. So he's got a lot of experience in the job. I really think his trajectory was going to lead him to a head coaching job at some point, and you just really feel fortunate that he's able to come on and stick with Tampa here. And I really love what Bruce Arians said about it. He's like, I've retired because I wanted to give Todd Bowles a good opportunity. You know, he's been one of his subordinates for a long time, and he comes into a situation where he's got a veteran quarterback, a veteran team, ready to win now. And we're really going to get to see what he is made of as a head coach.
Remember talking to Todd Bowles after the New York Jets experience, and he had no hard feelings, said he learned a lot, and when he would get the next opportunity to be a head coach, he would use that. Well, he has that now with the backing of the Bucs organization. Tough hit on Rachaad White, and Bruce Arians, who is a consultant, senior football advisor, and made sure the handoff to Todd was very smooth.
He's around. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the day-to-day guy that he obviously was when he was a head coach, but he's around. He spends a lot of time still in his golf cart at training camp.
Hey, but congratulations, but he's going to be in the Ring of Honor this year. Right? October 2nd, the home game against the Chiefs.
Yeah, he gets in. It'll be. I'm not sure where they're going to put him up there.
They could put him near you.
They could put. There's room over there near me now, but yeah, he's deserving. Super Bowl winning coach deserves to be in our Ring of Honor. What a throw!
Trask right on target to J.J. Howland.
Oh,
29-yard pickup.
The audition of Kyle Trask continues to impress us. That was an awesome throw through the middle of the football field, and it showcases what we know that we like about him. The big, strong arm, those with some accuracy there, and I got to tell you, during preseason practices, you really didn't see that many of those type of throws. It's nice for this to show up in a football game.
29-yard pickup. Howland from Yale as Rachaad White finds something out of nothing. See, John Molchon is in there, the backup center to Robert Hainsey.
Yeah, and it's good to talk about John Molchon, actually, Chris. I'm glad that you said his name, because with Ryan Jensen out for indefinite period of time, I'm not sure what they're going to do roster-wise. He all of a sudden becomes the next man up, right? Robert Hainsey really hasn't had any playing time at center in the NFL. Robert Hainsey, also a converted tackle, we remember from last year when they drafted him. So Molchon is really going to have to prove himself that he can be that next guy up, and we're going to get a chance to see him here the rest of this game, I think.
A 2nd down 6. White receiver, high pass hauled in, but the Dolphins are there to smother him. Rachaad White barely had a chance. Yeah, Ryan Jensen, the injury, boy, it was just unfortunate news right off the bat, training camp, but they're still hopeful. Now, he hasn't had surgery yet. They're going to say until they have some decision to make, they're optimistic that whatever they have to do, he has to heal properly and hope that he could be a part of the team in the later part of the season in a playoff run. A key, obviously, he was right there for Brady and the Bucs, re-signed.
Right, came back.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure, keeping things intact, adding veterans like Julio Jones and Kyle Rudolph. This is a Super Bowl run for the Bucs. That's the hope. The pass is caught down inside the 20-yard line by Jarreth Stearns, Western Kentucky guy.
Let's talk about Jarreth Stearns. He did something in college that only 2 other people have done, and that would be Devontae Smith at Alabama and Michael Crabtree at Texas Tech. At Western Kentucky, this dude had the trifecta. He led the nation in receiving yards, he led the nation in receptions, and he led the nations in TDs last year. And he's an undrafted free agent trying to get his way into the NFL. I mean, the guy caught 150 balls last year in college football. It's amazing.
Trask for the end zone.
And he catches that one.
Jarreth Stearns from Kyle Trask. Well, Rondé Barber was bragging about how many footballs he caught.
Oh, another great throw by Kyle Trask. But hold on. Let me look at my roster here. How tall is Jarreth Stearns? Jarreth Stearns 5'9". And look at that throw. The calmness there to catch that football. Look, there's no stress catching this ball. It just come to my hands, catch it, pluck it. And man, Kyle Trask looking good, buddy.
Well, that deserves a wow. 19-yard connection. Borregales the extra point. It's a 2-point game. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in the third. A lot of offense here at Raymond James. 25th year at this great stadium. What an outstanding catch. Jareth Stearns adding to an already impressive. This is the way the regular season receiving top four would look. And Julio Jones right now at the moment is probably the healthiest of the
We don't
group.
need to look at those. This is the ones you look at. Look at this in this game right here. This guy's been playing his butt off, and right now this guy's been playing his butt off. Jalen Darden had the touchdown earlier in the game. Scotty Miller's been playing a lot. He's yet to record a reception, but this is what you wanted out of this game. This is what you wanted out of the preseason. Fumble.
Special teams play. The Dolphins get it back after a terrific hit. Looked like McCollum may have helped cause that. And on the tackle with the recovery, Anthony Nelson, who's had a good night defensively. Our accurate scoring drive, the 19-yard touchdown toss. But Stearns did have a couple of catches. Talk about those receivers. Tyler Johnson with 6 catches tonight. Darden also had a grab for a touchdown.
Yeah, and on that accurate scoring drive report, it didn't say the 29-yard catch to Howland through the middle of the field that really changed the field position that set up that Jareth Stearns touchdown. But I was making that point about this wide receiver. This is what you want to see in the preseason. You want to see guys thrive and have opportunities and go make big plays. And then you give the coaching staff and these scouts and the GM a question to answer the question, can this guy play in the NFL? And I'll tell you what, Jareth Stearns just made one heck of a catch for that touchdown, and it's going to definitely put some. It's going to help his cause here going forward.
Misfire on that pass attempt from Skylar Thompson, who's done a good job tonight. He's gone the entire way for Miami against the Bucs defense.
Yeah, and I think we'll see him the entire game. Teddy Bridgewater probably won't come to this game unless Skylar Thompson has some sort of injury. And if there was a question about Skylar Thompson is not a young man. I went to a couple Kansas State games last year. My daughter's boyfriend is at school there, so I went and watched him play, and his injury history was probably the thing that held him back. But he was the face of that organization, the Kansas State team, for about 5 years. And so he's got a lot of experience under his belt. This guy looks the part of an NFL quarterback, and he's showing us a little bit of that tonight.
Started 40 games over 5 seasons. Missed, 2000 with an upper body injury, and did have some injuries, but rushed for more than 1,000 yards in his career.
That's exactly what he can do. He can get out of the pocket. He can move. He's got a big arm.
Only Kansas State player ever to pass for 6,000 plus yards and rush for 1,000 plus.
And there's a guy who's going to be starting for him now. We know that for sure.
And
throwing to that dude right there.
I mean, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle had an outstanding rookie season. They're going to be fun. Thompson down the middle, knocked away, and incomplete on a 3rd and 5.
Great play by J.J. Russell there and Fadakasi. That's what you want out of zone coverages, right? 3rd down situation, you're not going to get fooled by the play action. You drop into the area, you read the quarterback's eyes, you make a break on the ball. Great caused incompletion there, and the Bucs are going to get a chance to get the ball back here.
Kalen Geiger getting ready to return the punt. Boy, you feel the momentum shift, just like the Dolphins with their takeaways. You could sense that what was happening there at the end of the first half or in that second quarter, and the Dolphins now are trying to slow down the Bucs to get a touchdown to get the ball back. They're down 2. Geiger comes in on it and is down right away at the 34-yard line after a 41-yard punt. Bucs down 2, but have the football. Kyle Trask, 12 out of 17, has engineered a couple of touchdown drives. You'll have an opportunity here after that last one has brought the Bucs a little closer. Buck fans, 2022, your season pass is still available in the all-new Crew Nest. The Crew's Nest, you can see Tom Brady, Mike Evans, the rest of your Bucs all year long as they battle the Packers and the Chiefs and the Rams and the Bengals and a lot more. Visit Buccaneers.com/tickets to score your season passes today. So the Crew, they added seats. So we had 70,000. I mean, the season tickets, you're sold out, but you can get in by getting into those added seats right there at the other end of things.
Unprecedented demand is what I heard. Why they put in the Crew's Nest over there.
The Bucs are must see as Geiger tries and gets away. Let's check in with Dan down on the field.
All right, Chris standing here with Vita Vea, the big defensive lineman. I'm going to tell you this, on the Kyle Trask touchdown drive in the second quarter, when you guys went into the red zone, the cannons went off, and I saw Akeem Hicks jump about 2 feet.
On the field for an injured player.
And you laughing. Did you guys not warn him about the cannons in the red zone?
Oh, I didn't see that.
You were laughing at your teammate who was scared of the cannon.
He jumped?
Big.
Oh, shoot, I didn't see that.
That you were laughing at whoever's laughing at him. What has this pairing been like for you in training camp? Because he speaks highly of you when he came here. He said he knew all about you already.
Shoot, I knew all about him too. I think I studied him a lot before he got here. So he's one guy that, you know, does it the right way, especially at the position we play. So I've always loved watching him play. So it's love playing with him now.
How important was it to you? You know, Ndamukong doesn't come back. They bring in a veteran player who's dedicated to the run like you are. How important was that to you?
It was good. You know, I learned a lot from Sue. He taught me a lot from his time being here. And then I think it's just great learning from another good veteran guy in the team.
A couple of new players on the defense. What do you think of your defensive unit coming back with some key guys gone, key guys coming back? It doesn't look like you guys have lost a step.
I think it was just bringing everybody in, our communication, and just good coaching.
Logan Hall, how's he doing so far, in your opinion, in training camp?
He's been doing really good so far. He has a big future in front of him. He impressed a lot of us seeing him play, so just excited to see him grow.
All right, Vita, all the best for you the rest of the preseason. Thank you very much, guys.
Vita Vea, and there's
Logan Hall.
The top pick. We had an injury, Tino Ellis being helped off the field from the Dolphins on that last play. The defensive backs on the Miami roster. And this was when Geiger was trying to make something happen. Picked up a yard, but it's number 34 you saw fly across your screen. So helped to the sideline. There he is. So it's just good to see him get up and move.
Well, I really wanted Dan to ask him which one of those guys weighed more. Akeem Hicks or Vita Vea.
And Akeem Hicks is quite a, you know, Vita doesn't talk a whole lot. Akeem Hicks is a terrific interview. And loves to chat. Coming over, there they are, kind of, you know, hanging out. Hicks coming over from the Bears, a former Pro Bowler.
Well, you see Roches there, right there as well. They got one heck of a defensive line. He might be the best backup defensive lineman in football right now. Oh, wow, look at this guy.
Kalen Geiger was going to go one way. Look out there blocking is Kyle Trask. That Geiger goes out of bounds at the 43 of Miami.
Little razzle-dazzle reverse and change field. I don't know if this is how this was drawn up. This was one heck of a jump cut right there to get in the open field and reverse field and give Kyle Trask that opportunity to block. I mean, what a great block. But this guy has got great suddenness in his movement. He's another one of these guys that you look at these backup receivers, Stearns, Geiger, Tompkins, who we really haven't talked about yet, but who's had a great camp. They're all in that same 5'7" to 5'9" range. I mean, they are diminutive wide receivers, but they are mismatched nightmares in space versus the guys that have been covering them in camp so far.
Rashad White carries again, pushing forward. Yeah, Kalen Geiger played at Troy for a couple of seasons. Did well in the Sun Belt at Texas Tech.
Yeah, he was a guy that elevated up. He started at JUCO college, right, and then moved to Troy, and then in his last year he went to Texas Tech, and every step of the way he continued to get better and better. And I think they've started to see that a little bit in practice, and why they're so kind of enamored with his skill set, given his opportunity here in his preseason game one.
White carries again. See, this is what he does here. That last carry looked like he'd get a yard or two. He picked up 5 on first down, gets a couple more here.
Yeah, I mentioned that he looked like Eric Dickerson a little bit. You know who he also looks like? Who was Pittsburgh? Connor. Not Connor.
James Conner?
No, the other one.
The one who's currently in Pittsburgh?
No.
We're going back a few years.
The great one. Le'Veon Bell. Right.
Who was patient, briefly.
Yeah, patient runner. Able to jump cut, slow play, and let the defense move out of the way before you find your lane. It's very, very similar movement.
His story, I mean, he, had to work his way through junior college and sleeping in a car, said, I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder. Glad to have this opportunity. He talks about being grateful, Rashad White. Had other jobs. He put together furniture while he was playing his college ball. He was living out in California trying to pay for things, and also was a security guy at the music festival out in Palm Springs. Let's check in with Dan for more on Rashad White.
You mentioned some of the jobs he had when he was he was playing for Mount San Antonio College, Mount Sac, outside of LA there. That was his second stop. He went to Nebraska, Kearney, then Mount Sac before Arizona State. He was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school as an all-state running back and has worked himself to this position.
Borregales to try from 54 yards away. It's up there. It's out there. They got it. It's good. Borregales for 3. And the Bucs have the lead. Officially, they've adjusted that Borregales field goal to a 55-yarder to give the Bucs the lead. Time for Barber's Cuts, brought to you by CarShield. CarShield cars go farther.
And let's take a trip down memory lane against the Miami Dolphins back in September 21st, 1997. This was my rookie year, and that was my rookie roommate right there, Warrick Dunn, with that 58-yard touchdown, the longest play, I believe, given up by the Dolphins passing play in history. And Warrick Dunn was one fun dude to watch. We're going to have those cuts all 3 preseason games, and I was involved, or at least on the team for all of them.
And they were all involving the Bucs and the opposition. In this case, the Dolphins. It'll be the Titans next Saturday, and then the Colts after that. How about Borregales, who says his range is 70 yards based on his practice field? As you said, that one would have been good from 65 or more.
I mean, Ryan Suckup has been very clutch, especially at the end of last year. He was a clutch kicker. But there is something about this kid's leg strength. I mean, I'm a big golfer. Obviously, you guys know that. He hits cuts, he hits hooks, he hits whatever he wants to, but it's all powerful. And that ball right there would have been good from a long, long way. I believe he's got that 70-yard range.
Acura scoring drive, and Trask had the big pass play earlier. Borregales, who kicked from the University of Miami for Florida International, was with the Bucs back at camp, second straight year. It looks like Dolphins are going to use a timeout. Skylar Thompson.
First charge timeout. Miami. This is a 30-second timeout.
Todd Bowles looking on. A couple of first-year head coaches, although for Mike McDaniel, his first opportunity as a head coach. And Bowles, as you mentioned, coming over from the Jets and then having time here in Tampa with, and that was the plan all along with Bruce Arians coming out of retirement to go back to the Bucs. He gets a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you talk about first-time head coaches, Chris. I'll be interested to see what happens with this football team. Last year they lost 7 in a row, right, to start the season, and then the defense started to really pick up, getting a lot of pressure. As I mentioned, they kept their defensive coordinator Josh Boyer, but they come in with a new offensive system under Mike McDaniel, and you know, they won 7 games at one point in a row during last season. And then on top of all that, you go out and you give money to the best, or at least the most elusive wide receiver in football, Tyreek Hill, and you pair him with Tua Tagovailoa, and who knows with this team, they could be really good this year. I think they could be a surprise.
Thompson on the run after pressure, gets away and shows some of that elusiveness. Let's check in with Dan for another injury update.
Guys, we do have a couple of injuries, both ankle injuries in this game. Linebacker Cam Gill left the game, not going to return tonight. Also, running back Gio Bernard, an ankle injury. I saw him walk past me here on the bench, and it didn't look serious to me. It looked like he was walking okay. So I know the Bucs are hoping that both of those players are going to be okay.
All right, thank you, Dan. Cam Gill, the leading tackler in the game for the Bucs before leaving injured. 3.5 to go in the third on a 2nd down 7. For Miami, Thompson, quick toss and open at the 30, short of the first down. Mohamed Sanu, the veteran who's kicked around most recently the 49ers, originally a Cincinnati Bengal, but he has spent time with Mike McDaniel when they were in San Francisco, and they brought him in late to just add some veteran experience to this loaded receiver core of the Dolphins. Big 3rd down chance for the Bucs defense.
Yeah, probably see some man-to-man coverage here. Get to see these young cornerbacks, Rashad Robinson, Kyler McMichael on the other side. See if they can get a stop here on 3rd and short.
McMichael, the rookie from North Carolina, wearing number 37. Robinson wearing 28. And on the move again is Thompson. Pressure here and brought down before he could make something happen. Ola Fatukasi, the free agent from Rutgers.
Another one of these inside linebackers that the guy plays downhill. You're not going to find out a lot about Fatukasi, but what they like about him is his ability to play in space and run and hit guys. But that was a pretty good play because we talked about Thompson. Skyler can move, he can run, he can be elusive in the open field. And this is like the hardest position you can be in as a defender. When the quarterback can move and getting him down before the line of scrimmage, a really nice play.
Back to receive Kalen Geiger. If he has the chance, it bounces, and inside the 20 it rolls. Not an opportunity for the Bucs to return. We talked about Todd Bowles, the head coach in his first year here with Tampa Bay, but he's going to stay on calling the defensive plays despite having 2 co-defensive coordinators.
Well, they always help with the game planning anyway. You know, we always do it as a group. It's never just me. It's never just them. I'm going to call it this year because it happened so late, getting the head opportunity to bring in someone to teach the defense, whether it was a linebacker coach or a D-line coach. We would spend more time on that than we would actually getting our scheme together. So we said we're going to stay status quo this year, and I'm going to call it, and he'll work on the passing part and still coach the linebackers. Coach Rogers will work on the run part and still coach the D-line. So we're going to do it as a group, but game day-wise, I'll still call it then, and then we'll deal with it after the year.
Kenyon Barner carries. He's in the game, and Rhonda, you talked to him about that with Casey Rogers and Larry Foote, kind of co-defensive coordinators.
Right. One run game coordinator, Casey Rogers, one pass game coordinator, and Larry Foote. And Larry Foote's getting an opportunity to be a defensive coordinator first time in his career. He's been outside linebacker coach in the past. But I think it's a good system. If I was Todd Bowles, I'd want to stay in charge of calling his defense. It's his defense. He's done it for 3 years here. He gave up those duties when he was at the Jets. I don't think he wants to do that quite yet here in Tampa.
Trask, there's a flag down. The catch is made by Geiger, and he gets up across the 45 of the Bucs. We'll check that flag back at the 27-yard line. And I'm with you. You know, offensive coaches, when they take over as head coach, they want to make sure that they still call the plays on offense. So what Todd Bowles is good at, his defenses have always been good. And why shouldn't he continue to? Plus, he's got Tom Brady, you know, with Leftwich to call the offense.
Yeah, he mentioned that when I sat down with him, he mentioned, yeah, I'll pay a little bit more attention to offense. But come on. You got Tom Brady, you got Byron Leftwich. They're not going to spend a lot of time in offense with Todd Bowles.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 33 of the defense. That penalty is declined. Play results in a first down. There's a timeout on the field for an injured player.
Yeah, the call against Miami and Quincy Wilson, but this is a 26-yard gain with Geiger, so they don't need to take the penalty.
Well, you saw the quickness and the suddenness that I just mentioned about Geiger. He gets in and out of his breaks so good that it's hard for defenders to stick with him. But what I liked most about that play, Chris, was how soon Kyle Trask let that ball go. He felt that his receiver was going to win that route and let it go before he even made the break. It was a perfect completion. Kyle Trask on the night now is
good numbers, and
great numbers.
Engineering touchdown drives. Trill Williams, by the way, injured for Miami, walking over to the sideline. Hey, Brian Ford, our chief operating officer of the Buccaneers for a long time, him and his wife Judy, 33 years celebrating their anniversary here. They have their 2 sons with them in the crowd tonight, watching and rooting for the Bucs. All Florida State grads, the whole family.
Right.
And we always wish him this time of year.
Every year we do it. Thank you, Brian Ford, for everything you do for us.
And making sure to make the fans as comfortable as they can be here at Raymond James Stadium. Adding the crew seats, keeping the pirate ship rocking. Barner goes nowhere as the Dolphins get to him at the 40-yard line. DeAndre Johnson, former Hurricane, coming up with the big play. Well, your player to watch at the beginning was Kyle Trask, and even though there were a couple of adventurous plays, a lost fumble, an interception that turned the tide of the score, the Bucs have the lead here as we wind down the third quarter, primarily on his play. There was a touchdown toss from Blaine Gabbert earlier to Darden, but 15 out of 21. You see the numbers there, nearing the 200-yard passing mark for Trask, and he's trying to get more. Tackle made right away. That's Stearns once again as he got to the 47-yard line. And the third quarter winding down on the Genesis scoreboard. with the Bucs leading the Dolphins 24-23.
This is the end of the third
Genesis
quarter.
GV80. Life is defined by the choices we make. Define yours. Start of the fourth quarter. A check at the stats brought to you by Woody's Car Wash Shack, providing an epic car experience in the Tampa Bay area. The Bucs passing yards.
Impressive.
Jumps out at you.
Yeah, impressive. 250 yards total. Kyle Trask, 16 of 22, 195 yards. Just saw that graphic. He's had the one unfortunate interception, and he's taken 1 sack. He's looked really good. I mean, we were focused on him, and focused on him has been really good.
Yeah, that 5 out of 9 on third down for a guy trying to show that he can handle things, and he's got a 3rd down and 9 right now. Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, glad you're watching the Bucs in the preseason here as he completes the pass to J.J. Allen, his 3rd catch of the game. The reserve tight end, a free agent behind Cade Otton and Co. Keith, who were drafted.
Yeah, Keith, more fullback. I mean, I know they don't call him that anymore. He's a move tight end or whatever, off the ball tight end. But Otton, I think, it will be a guy that will play inline. And of course, you got to replace at that position. You got to place one of the greatest, maybe the greatest of all time. And then Rob Gronkowski.
You still think he's retired here? He's there's Cade Otton, who
I think he's retired. I think I've heard him plenty of times say it not. So they go draft not only 1 but 2 tight ends. You bring in Kyle Rudolph, who played last year for the Giants. Obviously, the long-time Vikings great tight end to kind of solidify that room. But it's one of the positions where I think they're comfortable. None of those guys is going to be Rob Gronkowski, but I think collectively they can make up for what they're losing, and probably the best tight end that ever played football.
Yep. And Jake Camarda, the rookie we said from Georgia, drafted only his 3rd punt, but you saw there it was 43 yards, but one of his strengths is directional, and he made sure the returner had to move over to pin. It was all about field position here at the Dolphins back inside the 10.
Exactly right, Chris Myers. You know what you're talking about.
Well, I read all your notes, so I have to be prepared. There's no excuse. Spotted at the 5-yard line. Yeah, it's just been an entertaining. Some of these preseason games, boy, you don't get a lot of points. But
well, you know what's entertaining? Well, it was a good crowd, right?
Yeah,
this was a big
buzzing.
crowd here. People are buzzing in the stadium, and we've seen a lot of young players play in this game. No starters again, but it's been a really good football game.
And that handoff straight ahead. That's Jared Dokes from Cincinnati. Yeah, this is the 13th of August, right? The 8th month. So it's 8 and then 1-3.
Yeah, my phone number is 813.
And that is the area code.
I see what you're doing there.
It's 813 day with the Dolphins hosting the Bucs. There was a stretch where it was every preseason.
Well, you want to do a numbers thing?
Yeah, we've done it.
2 Super Bowls in Tampa, right? 2002, 2020. When you got 2 numbers, 2 and 0 on the year, Bucs seem to win Super Bowls.
Well, you add them together. You add the 2 to the 2020, and then you go to 2022.
I was just talking about, inversing the numbers. You got 2002, 2020, and now there's only 2 numbers in this year,
all right,
2022. So I'm not calling it.
Yeah, that's right. And we haven't even had a chance to talk about some of the additions, like a Kyle Rudolph and Julio Jones. We'll spend more time when they play next week.
That there was no wind blowing on that flag, folks. I'm sorry. It says, trust me, you can look on the stadium here. 202,
yeah.
And then 202.
I thought all your hot air was going to help it.
You're missing what I'm doing here.
No, I'm
Rondé Barber was number 20, and there's a lot of 2 O's in the Super Bowl seasons for the Tampa.
We opened the broadcast with a lot of numbers. So, but for all that to happen, Tom Brady has to be here and be upright, and the team really is not concerned. There's a lot of speculation when things unfold the way they did, but he came in, he worked out, missed some practice time, then in a prearranged with the team leave of absence for non-personal, non-football, health in the family, everything's to be okay at the business that he needed to take care of. And as Todd Bowles said, look, it's Tom Brady. The guy's won 7 Super Bowls, and we trust him. And he'll come back before Indianapolis soon enough. He'll play. If not, he'll be ready for the regular season. But the Bucs are not worried.
Yeah, I think if you want him here, of course you want Tom Brady here. He's the GOAT, man. He brings everybody together. Everybody that's here realizes that this team is what it is because of Tom Brady. Does it help that you have great players? You have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, you have Julio Jones now for his receiving options? Yes, but this team will go as Tom Brady goes. Not that Blaine Gabbert can't get the job done. Not that if Kyle Trask has to play and what he played tonight, maybe he can get it done. But the reality of the situation, this dude's won 7 Super Bowls. He is the catalyst for this football team, and you'd want him here. But I'm sure Tom will explain his reasons for being gone if he so desires. If not, he'll be here when it matters.
2nd down 10, catch made for the first down at the 30 and then falling forward across the 31-yard line. Ezukama, the rookie from Texas Tech, on the other end of that Skylar Thompson throw.
They love this guy. You call him, I think some people are trying to make the moniker, call him Easy E. You know, big wide receiver room, right? They got a ton of guys in there, and this guy's been really, really impressive. He was impressive in practice this past week. I think they're going to like his upward trajectory.
Well, I know there are 16 players on the practice squad this year available, but if there are NFL teams out there, Rondé, looking for receiver help,
watch this game.
These 2 teams are loaded. Thompson has time, sideline open, and up across the 45, and now into Buck territory for a first down is Mohamed Sanu inside the Tampa Bay 40-yard line.
Look at Mohamed Sanu still getting it done. Year 11, 32 years old. Runs this little zip motion across the formation. This is a check down for Skylar Thompson, and he finds it. Finds him out in space, nobody out there. Big game. And we talk about, it's a quarterback game, this game, right? Both young quarterbacks have looked awesome to me in this football game.
Thompson from Kansas State, 18 of 23, over 200 yards. They actually spot that at the 43 of Tampa Bay. Jared Dose is the running back. Dumps it off, and a crowd, maybe a yard or so. Mike Green was there.
What a good play.
Sure.
Yeah, what a good play by Mike Green, reading that out. Defensive lineman. The people that have to stop screens. You talk about screens and good screen teams or whatever. The people that stop screens are the defensive linemen. They're the ones that got to feel the pullers getting out in front and redirect. Mike Green, rookie, does a great job there.
Saw Todd Bowles look like he was enjoying calling in the defensive play with his play sheet.
I know Todd Bowles hates when they give up big plays. I always expect a blitz to come after they give up a big play.
I mean, yeah, both of these defenses are fun to watch with their risk-reward blitzes. Thompson steps back, and he's got room to run if he wants it, and he's got plenty of room sliding around the 21-yard line of Tampa Bay. It'll be a Dolphin first down. Moves well for a guy 6'2" and 220.
Coverage downfield was really good. It's only a 4-man rush, so everybody's dropping. And when you don't get there, you got a guy that can move. He's gone.
Green had a shot at him, but it's at least trying to slow him down. But Skylar Thompson got out of it in a hurry and picked up 21 yards. Bucs do not have a takeaway so far in this game. Dolphins have a couple. Myles Gaskin going the other way. Knocked out, that is not Gaskin. That's Zakondre White, the rookie from South Carolina, who was at Florida State. He was a linebacker, transferred to South Carolina. They moved him to running back. He'll end up losing 5 yards.
Yeah, Fatukasi made another great tackle there, shoestring tackle, but that was Pat O'Connor who had that initial penetration there. And then they love talking about run defense. You stop the run, you get to play pass. This Bucs defense has been really good. There's been one breakout run so far this game. Everything else, this Dolphins offense has got nothing on the ground.
Thompson in trouble here. Throws it towards the sideline. What an effort. Trying to make the pick. Did he get it? No, said he's out of bounds, but that was Don Gardner, free agent from South Dakota State, who saw the ball. Let's take a look, Rondé.
Well, ill-advised throw by Skylar Thompson. You're going to throw it out of bounds. Throw it out of bounds. I mean, this is begging for an interception.
Wow.
And I mean, that's close. Yeah, heck of a catch.
Nice try.
Heck of a catch. Now, if his feet dragged in, this is going to be a great interception.
Todd is throwing a challenge flag. All right, so it's ruled incomplete.
Tampa Bay has challenged the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. We will review the play. Timeout on the field.
The crowd here saw it. Don Gardner's attempt on the big screen. We'll see what the officials think.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. It's an incomplete pass. Tampa Bay will be charged with its first timeout of the half.
The officials took a look. Don Gard, a great effort, but said the ruling on the field stands. No interception here.
Well, two good looks here, right? I think that right foot is out of bounds by the time he catches it. It's inbounds right when he pause the picture. And I think you'll see it very clearly from here. He doesn't have the ball under control before that right foot starts to touch out of bounds. But it's one heck of an effort there, man.
Great effort. The officials all over. They've had a good game tonight. It's well officiated. Only 3 penalties accepted combined. On a 3rd and 15, the pressure is on. Skylar Thompson is going to go down back at the 36-yard line. Another sack, and Pat O'Connor on the spot here.
Well, it's interesting to see Pat O'Connor in the game this late because he's one of the guys that have been here, but it's the pressure from outside by Gardner there, number 30, that allows Pat O'Connor to get this sack, forces the quarterback to step up into the pocket. O'Connor just dominates that offensive guard. The Bucs get another sack here. I think it's the 3rd sack of the night for this unit.
Well, and it pushes back a field goal try now to 53. It would have been 44 yards. Sanders has been money so far tonight. 3 for 3. Make that 4 for 4. And the Dolphins take a 2-point lead under 7 minutes remaining here in Tampa Bay. An entertaining preseason game here, back and forth. The Dolphins on another field goal take the lead. Bucs football back and unfinished business. Kickoff 2022, the season when the Bucs battle the Cowboys Sunday night, September 11th, right here on News Channel 8, your official Bucs station. And look at the schedule, the first 4 games. Ooh. My goodness.
Right. At Dallas, at New Orleans, who we somehow can't seem to beat in the regular season, and then Green Bay and Kansas City at home. I mean, you're a good team. You obviously get the hard parts of the schedule, but there are not only the start of the season is tough. There's a couple of instances later on in the season where they have a Thursday night game. They play the Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl champions, followed by the Cincinnati Bengals. But look at this. This is an impressive array of teams coming against your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Saints, they haven't beaten them in the last 6 regular season head-to-head games, but they did have that playoff game, which was more valuable, obviously. And Bucs coming off the NFC South Division title after winning the Super Bowl as a wild card. So the schedule will be tougher, but with Brady and this Bucs defense. By the way, this defense tonight, you talked about how Miami can't run the ball. 47 rush yards total for the Dolphins on 14 carries, and 21 of those came on the quarterback scramble by Thompson. 21
on those by Thompson, 20 of those on run by Myles Gaskin. So that's, let's see, 8 yards. Let's see, 49 to minus 21 and 20 is 8 yards on 12 carries. I think that's 0.66 yards per carry. So they're doing pretty well.
I need to brush up on my calculus. 2nd down 9. Meanwhile, the Bucs trailing by 2. Just over 6 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Trask, quick throw, middle of the field, not good enough for the first down. A couple yards short.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where you're not quite in 4-minute offense, but you really want to eat the clock. And by 4-minute offense, you're trying to run down the clock. So you'll see Trask get in the huddle, take his time, get into the line of scrimmage, make sure they have the right play. Everybody's communicating because you want to keep possession here. Talk about what we're trying to get out of Kyle Trask. Learning experience, situational football. This is it right here. See if you can get a first down here, keep this drive going while eating up this clock right here.
3rd down and 3. Trask is sacked inside the 20-yard line. He had a moment to get rid of the football, but there wasn't a quick decision there. A little frustrated as DeAndre Johnson was one of the first to get to him for the Dolphins.
And they also didn't give him a quick pass. I mean, this was a 7-step drop right here. Nowhere to get rid of the football. You would think that you'd want something to get him out of his hands quickly, quick decision.
They only needed
to take a sack. Yeah, they take a big sack here. 12 yards.
Now they're going to give the ball back. Camarda into punt. to Miami. Lynn Bowden, who has a touchdown catch, back to receive for the Dolphins. Camarda hammers it. This is where you want some leg. You want to back him up. Inside the 29, inside the 30, I should say, but up gliding across the 40 and all the way up near the 48 of Miami. Impressive return from Lynn Bowden Jr. Dolphins have the lead and the football and good field position. Dolphins have a 2-point lead and the football at their own 47-yard line here in the fourth quarter. Bucs preseason play continuing next Saturday. Catch the Bucs and the Titans from Nashville Saturday night at 7 on News Channel 8, your official Bucs station. And Dan, one of the guys we hope to see in that game is Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Chris, Kyle, first of all, when we talk to Cade Otton, the rookie, you say, all right, you got Kyle Rudolph in here to learn from. And he says, I'm actually picking the brain of Cam Brate more. What is that arrangement like in the tight end room?
It's awesome. Cam is the vet. I'm learning as much as those young guys are right now. We got a good mix of young guys that are eager to learn, that are playing well out here tonight. And then Cam's been here forever. He's played in this system now going on 4 years. And, that's the guy that we're always going to, whether it's myself, VD, anybody else in the room. We're always going to Cam to pick his brain.
What's the biggest challenge for you? You come in here a veteran player in a room full of veterans on a team ready to get it back over the hump. You've also got 2 rookies underneath you. You're trying to keep this position sustainable after Rob Gronkowski was here. What's the biggest challenge for you?
For me, it's first of all getting in here and learning as quick as I can, getting up to speed with the rest of the guys in this offense that have played in this system for multiple years, or have been practicing since they got here when the draft happened in April. So it's first and foremost is learning as quickly as I can, and then secondly, just bringing what I've done over the last 11 years in this league to this offense to help us move the chains, score points, and win games.
Now we know the relationship between Tom and Rob Gronkowski all of those years. Are there tight end isms that have come from that relationship that you've had to learn, because that's an important position to him?
Absolutely, and that's how it kind of goes. I'll learn something in the meeting room. We may talk about something, and then I go out and run on the practice field, and Tom doesn't want it that way. He wants it a different way. So it's part of the learning process for me. I've been coached a million different ways. It's my 8th offensive coordinator in 8 years. So I've learned all these systems. I've learned all the routes, all the blocking schemes. It's just how do they want it done here? How are they teaching it here? And how does Tom want it done?
Kyle, we wish you the best the rest of camp and the preseason, and good luck in the season as well.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you. Yeah, what an addition he has. All those years in Minnesota with success, and then briefly with the Giants. Jordan Young, the injured Bucs player. And Kyle seems like a Tom Brady kind of player. I'm
a big fan of Kyle Rudolph. I met him when I started doing games after I retired. I've been very close with him the past couple of years. Actually, I was with him the day he signed with the Bucs. I was at the 3M Open in Minnesota. We were both playing golf, a little competition, he and I. And he's
Who won, by the way? Of course you did. Okay. Otherwise, you wouldn't have brought it up.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I won. But I was with him when, and he was excited to come here. And I think we're all excited to have him here. I mean, is he Rob? No. But can he be a big factor in this tight end room? Absolutely, he can. He's got the experience. He can be a blocker. He's proven that he can catch some footballs down the middle of the field, and he's going to definitely help this football team.
Yeah, nobody's comparing him to Gronkowski, but like a veteran like Julio Jones, who I'm excited to see, a healthier addition. Guys that have been in the league a long time that would love to get a ring, and they go to Brady and Florida and the Bucs at a chance where they think they can get one. And a chance for the Bucs defense on 3rd down and 6. Here comes the blitz. The throw incomplete. The receiver looking late. Bucs defense lays out the quarterback, and they stop him for a 4th down punt. You mentioned Julio Jones. You've been wowed by, well, staying healthy, number 1, but the fact that at age 33, he's looked really good. There he is. Oh, yeah, there he is, wearing 85.
Yeah, I mean, he's missed 13 games over the last few years, and he was a guy that was always available to the Atlanta Falcons. It was never an issue with him. But over the past couple of years, he's had some injuries, and so if there was a concern, it was that. Can this guy come in and still be the Julio Jones that we expect him to? In practice, he certainly looks like it, man. This is one heck of a wide receiver room right now, and I would He's going to have a lot of defensive coordinators staying up late at night trying to figure out how to deal with all these receiving options.
Well, then that's just it, Rodney. He doesn't have to be, with Mike Evans and a healthier Chris Godwin coming back.
Russell Gage.
Yeah, Russell Gage kind of taking that other. So he doesn't have to be the guy. You get a certain number of games, he can make spectacular catches and red zone target. Just another good one for Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he was with Raheem Morris in Atlanta. Raheem was his wide receiver coach those few years before he went back to defense. So I went to a training camp with them one time just because Raheem and Dan Quinn invited me, and I got to sit down and talk to Julio a lot. And the one thing you notice about him, he's sitting there talking to Jalen Darden right there on the sideline, right? He is awesome with the young guys in the room. They obviously have so much respect for him because of the talent that he is and the career that he's had, but he genuinely gives it back to him.
Kenyon Barner, and a flag flies as he gets all the way up near midfield. What looked like a spectacular run. Maybe coming back.
And that's unfortunate because that was a great run.
Holding. Right. Offense number 86. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Bug Howard, number 86. You see him on the end of the line of scrimmage here. When this cutback, this is what happens a lot. Running backs cut back. You get your arm, your hands outside of the jersey, and it's easy call to make. Bug Howard's one of these tight ends on this roster. He's a wide receiver in college. Probably not a great blocker.
From the spot of the foul, repeat first down.
Yeah, it's going to hurt his cause on special teams. That's the kind of look you get from the soft-spoken but very direct Todd Bowles. So it would have been a 30-plus gainer, 30 yards plus, but instead backed up. You heard Ron Torbert on the call. So spot of the foul at the 8-yard line. Now 1st and 13 for Kyle Trask in this offense. Go back to him.
There you go. Do it again. And Barner's obviously the last guy on the depth chart here in this running back room. We came into this game talking about running back depth and the guys ahead of him. Leonard Fournette, Giovanni Bernard, who went out injured in this game. Rashad White and Keyshawn Vaughn. But Barner has been a special teams guy. He's been a returner. He came in a couple of years ago to fill that role, but getting his opportunity here to showcase a little bit of that running back skill.
Jordan Williams being checked on. He's the injured Dolphin player.
Well, you're talking about some of the additions, Chris, that this team has made, and this is where you got to really give Jason Light and his staff all the credit. Mike Beal, his director of college scouting, and John Spytek, pro personnel. They've made and reached out and got some veteran guys his entire tenure here. It's not like this is something that obviously you want to build through the draft. You draft well, that helps. And you were mentioning how many of our draft picks have gone on to be Pro Bowl players here. But they've also done a great job going and find guys maybe at the end of their career, but still have something left in the tank and put them on a team. And they've been crucial parts. None more valuable, obviously, than Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski over the past couple of years. But you trade for Shaq Mason this year. You bring him in to fill a void left by Alex Kappa going to Cincinnati. You go get Kyle Rudolph to fill a void that's apparent in the tight end room. And you add that to a team that's ready to win, and you have to like their chances because of the moves that they've made in the front office here, and just applaud them year over year. There's a reason why they've won the number of games that they've had in the past couple of years. And the most successful back-to-back seasons for the Buccaneer franchise. And there is Jason Light, Nebraska proud. On a 2nd and 1 that will give the Bucs, it's Barner again for the first down. Yeah, an interesting blend of getting veterans in the right spot, just like during the Super Bowl run and even last year when the Bucs were not that far away. He was able to get Logan Hall, who they liked. A lot of people had him as a first rounder, right? So he saw we'd get him, we trade back, get him in the 2nd round high, but we pick up a 4th round pick that we can use targeting for KDOT, as you pointed out, a tight end to help out. Yep, have compensatory pick, and Jason doesn't really like to give away future draft picks, but we had a compensatory pick that we picked up, and so he said, I'm going to trade up and go get the corner is who they did it with. Zion McCullum is who they traded and got up. He's sitting there and talking to Larry Foote, the co-defensive coordinator coordinator right there. And there's McCollum, the corner that made. Look at this. Was this planned?
Yes. Well, I think Larry Pitt was saying, Rondé's talking about you, so let's all get together. Trask has time, but slips away.
There's going to be defensive holding down here. I saw it.
There's two flags, one at the 41 and one at the 37. It looked like somebody was about to be open when Trask hesitated. Didn't want to make a mistake on that toss.
Well, to finish that conversation we're having about some of the moves that Jason and his staff have made, look, they've gone all in to win. That's what, and it's the new model in the NFL.
Holding. Defense, number 33. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play and results in an automatic first down.
It's on Elijah Hamilton, who had the interception. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. Bucks down 2, but a first down. Crowd entertained tonight. Bucks are down 2. Under 2 minutes to go with 2 timeouts. And a first down from their own 33-yard line. For Buck fans who want to watch the game in Spanish, you can tune into the Bucks against the Titans next Saturday night at 7 on WTTA Great 38. Santiago, Carlos Bojarquez, Martin Gramatica, part of the broadcast in Spanish, with Dan Lucas down on the field, Rondé Barber, the Bucks great. I'm Chris Myers, and thanks for being a part of Buccaneers preseason football once again on WFLA News Channel 8. Hoping for a dramatic finish. We still have our player of the game to name for the Bucks. Can Kyle Trask seal the deal here? Quick toss, trying to get to the sideline is Kenyon Barner, and does.
I think if Kyle Trask turns this field here in this 2-minute operation, that he's going to be player of the game. He's probably already player of the game. What am I talking about? He's thrown for 215 yards and it had a really nice showing. 2 touchdown tosses, 2 great touchdown tosses, we should add as well. And now he gets an opportunity to put him in the position to win a football game here. Got to cross the 50. We know how good Borregales' leg is, so just give him a chance here.
Borregales has made from 55 yards tonight. He's hit 60+ in practice. Dolphin defense ready and slammed down at the 30-yard line. It's Trill Williams. He got on Devin Tompkins the minute he got the football. Gonna have to. We have an injured player for Miami. That is Williams.
Timeout for an injured Miami player. By rule, because this injury occurred in the last 2 minutes of the half, Miami will be charged with a timeout. That's its second of the half.
Unfortunate with that injury. You can see his frustration, but it allows Trask in a difficult spot here on 3rd and 11. After a good night to still try and rally the Bucks.
Yeah, he's had a great night tonight. I was wanting to see this. I think we were all wanting to see this out of Kyle Trask. The efficiency with the completions. Yes, he took a sack and had an unfortunate interception, but he did a lot of things well. The screen pass here to Keyshawn Vaughn. This is the touchdown pass to Jarrett Stearns, which was an awesome throw over the outside shoulder. He also had the touchdown pass, the toss to Dalen Darden early in this football game. He's looked really good. So if you're asking me, Chris, and you are asking me, the player of the game is Kyle Trask.
All right, well, then that's a done deal. McDonald's player of the game. You can use the McDonald's
clock
app.
Operator, please set the game clock to 1 minute 38 seconds, please. 1:38. The clock will start on the snap.
The McDonald's player of the game, your benefit. Use the McDonald's app. Get 20% off your entire order every day when you spend $1 or more. Download the McDonald's app today. And congrats to Kyle Trask. You saw the numbers, 21 out of 27, over 200 yards, a touchdown. The QB rating, for all that's worth, over 96. Did have the interception, and it was those 2 turnovers, or we'll call them Dolphin defensive takeaways from the Bucks that kind of turned the tide early. But it looks like now Trill Williams, who made that defensive play, is okay enough to be up and moving toward the sideline. And the Bucks facing a 3rd and 11 now from their own 32. And still 2 timeouts.
Yeah, preseason football, they're gonna, I imagine this is 2-down territory.
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean, unless you want to see Borregales try to hit from 80-something.
you could try that. It wouldn't be, if he said that he thinks his range is 70, at least in practice. So, if you get close enough, why not?
I mean, with 2 timeouts, you could. I don't don't think the math was right to even try to stop him on defense. So I think that you try to go for it here.
Trask throwing, catch made with the tackle, an excellent tackle right away on Barner. Channing Tindall, there's a flag down. Channing Tindall made that tackle. Let's check the flag.
He's their first, Channing Tindall, first pick.
Georgia.
Yeah. They lost all their draft picks in that Tyreek Hill trade, but he was their first selection in the 3rd round this year from Georgia.
Bucks are backing up. Let's see. This is they made it, the Dolphins could decline it, give them 1 down.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Interesting that Mike McDaniel decided to take that, because it would have been right fourth down, 11 or 12 or whatever. Now you got 3rd. You can get half. Really, you're just going to try to get half of this back and then go for it on 4th down. So
maybe a pass interference penalty or something on the other side. That was Dylan Cook, rookie free agent from Montana, called for the penalty. 2 downs, 2 timeouts, but need to get all the way up to the 43-yard line from the 22. Trask has to get rid of it. Middle of the field, Barner is open. Clock will run until they use their timeout at the 31, and it will bring up 4th down. Well, they won't use the timeout. They called 2 plays in the huddle here. Throw, catch made, 1st down Bucks. Jarrett Stearns.
Put them under pressure, right? You go to the line of scrimmage, you put the defense on their heels. They're not quite sure what the call is. That was a great operation by Byron Leftwich and Kyle Trask there.
Second charge timeout of the half. Tampa Bay. This is a 30-second timeout.
And they pick up 20. Now they use the timeout afterwards, but they're set up. They'll have 1 remaining.
Well, he did it the right thing on the play before this. He threw the check down, got the sure completion, and took away some of that yardage. Third and forever, you don't want to try to get the 1st down. You just want to cover some yardage and make the 4th down a lot more manageable. Then the genius of that play call was going hurry up, having the play call. Miami's on their heels right there, and you allow Jarrett Stearns to get through that seam and make a big completion.
And Trask showing us something in this situation, and boy, did it fall right for the Bucks with the penalty, even though it was against him. The Dolphin injury helped with the timeout.
And you called it right away. Should have denied. Turn down the penalty, make it 1 play.
But you're looking right now at a 67-yard field goal try, 67 if you get nothing. But the Bucks still have a timeout and a minute plus.
You're going to find out what they're thinking here if they run a draw.
Trask gets rid of it quickly. His jersey getting tugged on. Vincent Smith in a crowd, maybe a yard or 2. That's not going to do much except work the clock. Batted away, incomplete, but it stops the clock on what was 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd down now. You want to pick up at least 10 to give yourself some hope.
I mean, I would be all right looking at the long field goal attempt. I want to see if the kid's got the leg that he claims he does.
Well, I hate to put him on the spot. He said that in practice. I don't know. He didn't say it in a game. He could hit from 70.
I mean, this is a guy that they're going to have to make a decision on. I mean, Borregales has got one heck of a leg. We talked about Ryan Suckup. He's been very clutch for this football team. This guy's time is coming, man. If he gets on the street, somebody's going to get him, I think. He is that good of a kicker, I think, right now.
3rd down 8, 47-yard line. Sliding at the 30. Did he hold on? The official says, yeah. Devin Hopkins with the catch, and the Bucks want to get up and spike it before there can be a look. And they do.
Another great throw by Kyle Trask. I mean, this was like a going away slider. Not only did he slide to catch it, but the way he had to throw this ball to get it underneath the defender, this was a spectacular throw here.
A little confusion from the Dolphin defense, but it was so difficult to tell. Yeah, and after that earlier play when the Dolphins took it away for the interception on a catch, This time he protects the football.
This is a guy who's got a great story as well. We're going to have to talk about him when he gets more playing time later on in preseason. But he's one that Coach Bowles was even talking about the first week of training camp. And not many people know he's one of those shorter ones that has really been impressive so far.
From Fort Myers, Dunbar High School. And closer to the 30 to set up. It should be, yeah, you still have your timeout, so they're going to let the clock run.
Just take it all the way down. This is always, I think this was always going to be just an opportunity to get a kick. And if you're the Bucs, you want to see him kick. If you're Keith Armstrong, the special teams coordinator, you want to see this guy have to kick a game-winning field goal. And with 3 seconds left, he's going to get his chance.
Third and final charge timeout, Tampa Bay. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, what a drive. A lot had to go right, and for that man, the Dolphins, a lot had to go wrong. But Kyle Trask has put the Bucs in a situation for a dramatic finish. His final number is impressive. Todd Bowles calmly sends out the guy wearing number 19, Jose Borregales, who made from 55 yards away. Battling with the veteran Ryan Suckup, who's had a tremendous practice. He hadn't missed much so far, and he'll get a chance next Saturday at Tennessee to get his kicking opportunities in. In a game that's gone back and forth. And a timeout. The old freeze the kicker. The Dolphins have one remaining.
Before the ball was snapped, Miami called its third and final charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
It's a little gamesmanship, right? Did you know what I like when teams do? Exactly what the Bucs just did right there. To Trainer snaps the ball, they go through the operation. He gets a free practice kick right there. He just nailed it from 49 yards in a practice kick, and now he gets to do it all over again.
Want to say hi and thank you to all the Buck fans joining us on News Channel 8's coverage of the Bucs in Tampa, Orlando, Gainesville, Ocala, West Palm, Fort Myers, Panama City, Tallahassee, Pensacola, Mobile, wherever, however you're watching on the Buccaneers Television Preseason Network with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, and we're glad to have you watching. To start 2022, Borregales lining things up. The game winner, 49 yards away. It's on the way, hits the upright and misfires. And the Dolphins win it. Yeah, a little preseason excitement here. Borregales. Well, that was
it was the worst hit I've seen him have all preseason.
Yeah, even in practice.
Right. I've not seen him hit a ball that poorly. A little pressure.
Yeah, maybe the icing the kicker thing by McDaniel still had a chance when it hit the upright. But the Dolphins hang on. Kyle Trask, 24 out of 32, over 250 yards. Touchdown toss. What an entertaining game. What a way to start. A lot of young guys get an odd opportunity. Dolphins take it by the score of 26-24. And the Bucs on the short end.